anything. We gon' make it, keep it playing. This ain't nothing more than papers changing. Fuck the nation, find your spaceship, boy.
Every damn day I hope your hands press and play. Feel that bounce, 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 bounce. What more can I say? Me and my coin come to play. We came to bounce, 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 bounce. Born in Philly and raised in the D. See me with a handful of rings at 3. I knew this cloud would amount to the beat. Got so much bounce, better mount your feet like crazy. Baby was one of a lady rolling around in a Porsche Mercedes, thinking God he woke her up on the daily. Homies now we're holy holding me God. Police round we bound to go at them hard. Niggas now we round up all of the boys. I look around, I know we down to get us, down to get yards. Around like 200,000, throwing a mule. Matter of fact, in the counting. Can I get 2? Can I get you? Maybe like you, the count of the bouncing. Homies like hoes now. Pick up the program. I like a 4. How did we get to a place where all we paused about is the ignorance turned into a poster child? Now no incentive. Now they just follow to get it. The pot that I'm always prevented, but after malignant, I promise a nigga is about it. They're bound to make all of them listen. Niggas gon' be niggas, and bitches gon' be bitches. But the niggas make them bitches. Boy, you best not be forgetting. All the way from Trinidad after fucking Jefferson. Nigga driving hip hop crazy, pumping straight through melon. It be that bounce. Every damn day I hope your hands press and play. Feel that bounce, 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 bounce. What more can I say? Me and my coin come to play. We came to bounce, 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 bounce. Every damn day I hope your hands press and play. Feel that bounce, 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 bounce. What more can I say? Me and my coin come to play. We came to bounce, 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 bounce. Real deal shit like this ain't never gonna come and go quick. I listen back to a little rap, back then a little blackjack with a knack for cadence. I'm black, but I'm like a quarterback, facilitating the crap, put a cast on payment. Cause mom had a little bit of hash in the bag from stash for the day she came in. Cause it was hard as fuck to conjure up enough to eat for we bank Antarctica. Now all we trust is party people, peace to evil. CD got all of us. Part of us is that power. Artistry to bust out of all of the prisons they put my people in. Nevertheless, we bounce out prouder like niggas gon' be niggas and bitches gon' be bitches, but niggas make them bitches. Boy, you best not be forgetting. All the way from Trinidad after fucking Jefferson. Nigga dropping hip hop crazy, pumping straight through melanin. Let it be that bounce.
Baby, I need to stay in my debut. Lately, I see blue sour made Babylon. Maybe I need to stay in my debut. Lately, I see blue sour made Babylon. Maybe I need to find feel out my place in time. All the loaded questions, homie, know I'm desperate. Homie folded, now they whole infected. Getting nose injections, lying and lions and tigers and bears. Now they is lying as kids. I like Orion, relying the mountain divided. Da Vinci alliance with them. Fucking with me, I get back in the morning. I leave with you and retracting the roller. My problem to see some intact with the boulder. Mama be reading me, hacking it. Let me take you back to the old days where they mad at the rap of the old age. Talking Tupac, whack the fuck you mean? What fucking weed is you smoking? Get a little closer, notice. Doja doors and dosage down the road. He didn't hit the road. You roller coaster the whole damn time. Get them in line, my nigga. Plugging my line, my nigga. I know they know my chain glow ain't big enough for me, Joe. Don't complain for what stay smoked. I labor all of these, Joe. My nickname cocaine peso. That speaks alone on these, Joe. So hit back with a lick back like go put the shit back. I'm a nigga that I know like lately. I lay by my baby or woke on an acre with demons so little they know they be talking and drinking. Policing my reason. I'm spinning around with a pistol to blow. Niggas be nagging around me. I don't know exactly how happy they is at the photo. I figure they bicker behind me and tell me if a nigga look at the stitch in his polo. Left brain, hold a nigga down in the parking lot. He talk a lot. I pull the brother down, let him know. No, but right brain, never fuck around. Watch they lips smack. Go get a stack of CD7 Mo's and then go get a stack. Left brain, hold a nigga down in the parking lot. He talk a lot. I pull the brother down, let him know. No, but right brain, never fuck around. Watch they lips smack. Go get a stack of CD7 Mo's and then go get a stack.
Reminiscing. Me and Sam with some little niggas at the corner store trying to be real niggas. Gang signs by the wheels, nigga. Just still my nigga. Smoking dro in 8th grade, my nigga. Curtis Snow, help raise the nigga. Me and Sam by that sandbox said, fuck that, we got games, my nigga, playing Madden. But I asked him, do you ever feel a little backwards? Painting my nails till my uncle called me faggot. Maybe had a feel, but the man said a natural. Masculinity is super dry. I hate the shit, it makes me occupy that outer body. Pop a pill and body, stay inside, they say he not a guy. Why we gotta have a hand in all? Niggas take a break, mistakes is cannonball. Keep it coming down and down and down and down like damn. How the fuck far do they fall? Niggas can only go ball. Hang at the mall with joys and show off their draws. Fuck it, I take it to the guard. Now I live carelessly, watching the rest of you fall. It's funny to me, but I ain't even here for the laugh fest. I need a black accountant to count cash with. Need that, but damn rapping MapQuest to get past this. Look around, it's all bastards. Maya in the booth can fight cashes. Sam stacking the money with his calf is. And me, I'm just that nigga, period.
Hey, y'all need some weed, bro. I need some weed, bro. I need some weed.
Hey, Andrea.
I need some weed, bro.
All hot air. What's cooking? What's dropping? How you feeling?
I'm a just wet chick, no matter. I'm a just wet chick, no matter. Medicated as fuck, I'm Mary Jane. Met her back in the club, the J.
Hey babes, how are you?
I stop partaking.
All right.
Staying, packing your ears for innovation.
Ooh.
You my day to day, my
I just got off. You came on at the right time, love.
I know your plans as a man, but getting high ain't enough. But don't forget about the haberdashery within the blunt light.
Hold on 1 second.
Composition. Thoughts of happiness, charisma driven. THC for that ass, I see you smack. But the fact is, I'm puffing that grass that keep you clap like, oh shit, I'm hit, my knee hurt. Got bills from the apartment, but need work like. Mama always told me moderation. Somebody tell the stress level that remain faded. Just wet chick, no matter. I'm a just wet chick, no matter. Just wet chick, no matter. I'm a just wet chick, no matter.
Boy, listen. Trust I have no intention entering business that ain't mine, but I've been noticing your addiction. It ain't fine. I see potential that can't be hindered by a sip of wine. Shit, you ain't a shade sipper, nigga. You a no sin. And plus, with all this weed, legal keep you out of jail shit.
Well, quick, the misconception is legal enable freedom when legal only solidifies that opposite's real.
What? You been fucking with that smoky, huh?
A little 20 twin to get my grocery, huh?
Well, I was city living since you was close to
Oh,
God.
when was that, like 06?
Is that the
Bitch, you
root?
was close enough. Well, I guess I can't keep it going, huh?
Nah, I just say smoke a bowl of some. Notice some, that was like the main rule. There's always one that you gotta bend a little.
Shut up, nigga, roll it up.
Already done. No matter. I'm a just wet chick. No matter. Just wet chick. No matter. I'm a just wet chick. No matter.
Welcome to another episode of Let's Chop It Up. Special edition with my partner in crime, Coco929, aka Libra Butterflies. This session is not going to be, it's going to be a good topic, but it's not something that we really want to endure, but it needs to be talked about for awareness, education. It's going to be a very touchy subject. So 18 and over, even though we're going to be speaking for adolescents, also about kids not in a bad way, but for what's really going on in this crazy world that we need to help stop. Um, on top of things that happen to everyday people, men and women alone, alike. I'm sorry. Um, Forbidden sex. Um, that can be a widespread of anything, from abuse to animals to a person, self abuse. That's more mental, but I mean, I think all of it's mental. Um, the wires, it's not wide right to do something to another person or to themselves. Um, that's not, I guess, consenting sex. Um, Now the self mutilation and stuff like that, that's way off, but it's still another form of in our society forbidden sex. Um, and I have another got Lolo. How you doing? Hello, Lolo. Let's see. I thought I heard her earlier when the music was on. Anyway, Coco.
Yes,
Good evening. How you doing?
I'm good. Well, I guess you can hear me. Hey,
Yes.
everybody.
Yeah. Hey, real
Okay,
mom.
it's all hotter.
Yep. I was just talking about her yesterday. So you said she came by yesterday, and I was like, "Dang it, I missed her!" And I was shouting her out. Go over there and see. It's all hot there.
Yeah, it's all hotter. We wanted to interview you about foster care.
Yes, 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 yes. We did. Yeah, I mean, yes, we do. Hey, Cap.
Hey, Captain.
Um, like I was saying earlier, put our disclaimers. This is not for. I mean, it's hard to say because it's. I want to say it's not for people under 18, but it's about
Um,
people under 18 as well as adults. So let me make that very clear. But the content, 18 and over. Um, there's going to be an adult conversation. Um, and I know if you saw the title, um, Forbidden Sex. Um, Everybody know our lovely lady, Coco 929. Um, she's been through traumatic, times as well as Lolo. I'm glad they're on the panel to um, shed some light on a lot of forbidden sex.
Hubby, how are you?
All right, how you doing today? Can you hear me, Coco? I mean, Lolo, Lori. I guess Lolo's having some technical difficulties. She said something, then I responded, and I don't hear anything. It's not muted, but I guess once we get everything, all the technical difficulties in check, we can get started. Like I was saying though, yeah, we was just um, having some good subjects over there at Leave a Butterflies panel, and I just missed you. Um, and also, I was reaching out to Real Mamas. I ain't see her in a while, and I'm glad I was able to saw her that day. Oh, there, there she is, the lady of the hour, Auntie Donna. Hey, hey, what's going on, Mr. Debonair? Thank you for blessing my show, sir. Thank you for coming by. Just getting started. Um, this
hello?
part of hello.
Okay, I'm here.
Okay, Lola was speaking, but I responded and she have not replied, or I don't know if she got her mic or something. I don't know.
I don't know. Hey, Auntie Donna. Hi, Mr. Debonair.
Okay. Welcome again to Let's Chop It Up. Sex Talk Episode 4. I don't mean to sound down, because this is a very touchy subject, and it affects our communities, it affects our households, it affects our families,
Hey,
it affects
Bama.
everything. So, oh, thank you, my girl. How you doing? Thank you for coming by. Um, but it's something that we need to talk about. I mean, it's definitely. I mean, because the more that we talk about it, we can get out of the old, stigma or the taboo of the bad things that goes on in our communities and our households. From family members to family friends and also people outside the house. Neighbors and stuff like that. I mean, there you got people with either bad mental conditions or that does things to people, actually sexually, unwanted sex, forbidden sex. And a lot of times it gets swept under the rug, especially in the black community.
Facts.
And this is something that we definitely need to, get out there. We really need to get out there. And, the more we know, the more we can, try to stop it, um, break this cycle. Um, Coco, you want to go ahead and just give us for everybody here that knows it, but for people who don't know, um, especially with the avatar that you have there for her magnificent book, please, we're going to put it at the end of the show where you can order it. Um, you can start off, just give us some highlights on your story.
Okay. Let me see. I think I'm gonna start with the beginning.
Uh oh, Coco,
Of little girls, what goes on.
Coco,
So,
we just missed a
this was it.
whole
Well, first,
Coco. We just missed like 10 seconds. You just went out.
oh, yeah. Can you
Yeah,
hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay, because I'm on this little stupid headset. I'm trying not to yell. For
Okay,
some reason, when I just record through the computer, I yell like it can't hear me, and it can. So, anyway,
okay,
uh, okay. So let me give a disclaimer now. Tell you who I am now. Okay, I am today. I am a counselor. I have my doctorate degree as a counselor. So yes, I am Doctor Coco, if you want to put it like that. Those who know my biological, know my government name, you know what their doctor stands for. Okay, so now since I gave that disclaimer, because I don't want anybody to feel sorry for me, because trust me, I am a victor, not a victim. But I do want to shed light on some things that can happen innocently that can turn bad. So when I was younger, I used to spend the night. My mother was trying to be protective of me, but my grandmother was actually my mother until she passed away. Then that made my mother get to know me. So, you kind of know how that is because I didn't like her and I don't really think she liked me to begin with, to be honest. Okay. So we was forced to deal with each other. So anytime family members or church members, because I grew up in the church, um, would say, can Coco spend the night? My mother was like, well, yeah. Okay. So um, at this particular sleepover, one of my female cousins, okay, and I didn't know anything about what I was ready to be introduced to. So one of my female cousins was like, okay, we're gonna play a game. We're gonna do this. And she was a little older than me. And I was like, okay, just wanted to fit in. And they was like, whatever goes on here, you can't tell nobody because you won't be able to come back. And I said, okay, like that, because I'm having fun. I don't have to deal with this woman that I don't know for real, X, Y, and Z. So anyway, doing the slumber party. it became a thing where, well, let's go take a shower first. Okay. And I'm cutting some of this story because it can go real long. So let's go take a shower. So I'm like, okay, because little girls take showers all the time together. They get in the tub all the time together. So there wasn't anything out of the norm. But what became out of the norm is as we were taking showers, my cousin knelt down and started licking my clit. Okay. Which I didn't know how to feel because I didn't, like I said, was told whatever happens, you can't say nothing because you won't be able to come back, and this is all part of the game. All right. So it went from there. Everybody started playing after it was over in the shower and all this and stuff. And then we all had sleeping arrangements. So when we was all in the bed and everybody was supposed to be sleeping, okay, she did it to me again. She went down on me again. Okay, so this was at a slumber party of girls. So I just want parents to know because they feel like, oh, well, she's with her girlfriends, them little kids, and all this and stuff. But you don't know what the other kids have been introduced to. You
That's
don't
a
know
good
what
point.
they have saw. You don't know what you know. I mean, even you just don't know. So you still should question: where is my child gonna sleep?
Right.
Where is the adults going to be? All those questions need to come about because innocently, and I will say this, now don't get me wrong, because me and my mama, we love each other, we get along now and all this, but nevertheless, the story still happened. Okay.
Right.
So, she didn't ask those questions because, again, she was ready to get rid of me so she could have some fun, and I was ready to go. Okay. So don't just be so quick to say, yeah, even if it's family members, yeah, you go on over and spend the night, she's in good hands and, all this and stuff like that, because you really don't know. Most
Right.
of my molestation and stuff came from my family,
See,
you
facts.
know.
And that's the scary part. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The ones that's in your circle. Be, one another content creator say this all this time. Um, Shout out to Hassan Campbell. He says this: be careful of your circle before they hurt you,
There you go.
and that's real talk. Um, you have, you got inquisitive cousins, and
Hmm.
again, it's certain things that they learn or certain things that happen to them. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
they might portray that, okay, this is okay. You know what I mean? And then they do it to another cousin or a go out to a friend's house or something and think it's okay to do that because that's what happened to them. It's
Hmm.
like a trend. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Hmm.
Now the thing is, us having communications as parents to find out these things, even so when it's a family, because family can definitely talk to the kids, our children, and say the craziest thing. You tell them this or you tell them that. you know um this is going to happen or that's going to happen, or and in a young kid's mind, a lot of times they're looking
Hello.
at it in a different way. Hey, you there?
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it was my computer. Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay, okay. um yeah, and a lot of times a lot of things happen in young kids' minds, you know, that they be a lot of times afraid to come to talk to us about. For one, they feel embarrassed, they feel scared, and a lot of times they take on like almost like a guilt, like because they don't want to get in trouble. That's the first thing that
Hmm.
will come to their head is they're going to get in trouble, and
Right.
so it's like we have to do better to have that open line of communication. You know what I mean, to
Hmm.
our children. Now, also, you find situations that you know um, they have good kids that your kids will go out to other their playmates or family members, and it'll be the adults that sneak in and try
Mhm.
to mess with the kids and stuff like that. That's another thing that you had to be aware of. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Mhm.
And that happens a lot. Also, your parents, your parents' friends that come to visit, women and men. A predator is a predator. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and a lot of times they don't have a preference. You know what I mean? And also, technically I am one because of one of my mom's friends. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
That was chasing me down for a long time, and I got bold. I even told my mother, oh, I'm gonna do this and that. Your son, blah blah blah. That didn't turn out very well, of course.
Okay.
But it's just the fact that the boldness of it, you know what I mean? That
Mhm.
the extreme that some of these people will go through just to have some type of satisfaction, and that's not good. You know what I mean? And that's one time. But what about for the ones that don't, you know, um, say something to the parent and be bold, and they be doing stuff behind the scenes, sneaking into people rooms and stuff, and wait until they go to sleep, or you even got some that's so bold that they would, drug you, like
Mhm.
y'all drinking, and they slip some, like, capsule of sleep, with them sleeping pills right in your drink.
Right.
And yeah, and then try to go do something with your kid, or with a spouse or anything. It's just, the best thing we can do is have that open line of communication. Look at telltale signs. If you know if something's not right, always question it. Don't let it slip. Just try to keep an open line of communications at all times.
Right.
Now, oh, for the it's like I want to tread lightly when it comes to the molestation, because a lot of people don't like to go and just accuse their family members, even though a lot of times to be guilty of them, but
Mhm.
it's not easy just to go and approach that situation, especially if you're not really sure of what's happening. Um, and then on top of that, same thing as the friends. I tell my daughter, I don't. She always thinks sometimes that she can just jump up and just go over a friend house. Oh, they okay, they cool, they this and that. And I'm like, if I don't know them, what
Right.
makes you think that okay, you're cool because y'all in school and y'all talk, but I don't know if she get. I think you got brothers. I don't know if their dad is a past sexual deviant, or
Yeah.
a lot of times they don't understand that and they don't get that. Hey, 300. Um, and and kids sometimes they feel that we're being like anal or assholes,
Mhm.
um, because we don't let them do what they want to do, and they don't think see a big problem with it. And just like I explained to her, and also even showed her, certain situations that can happen, when you don't know people. It's easy. I mean, it's so easy for certain things to happen, and it's for your protection. You know what
Right.
I mean? We want to make sure you're okay. I want to know mom. I want to know everything about this person as much as I can before I start letting my kids go over there, or vice versa. I want them to know, she got three older brothers. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Let them know up front. So it won't be no, okay, even though they be in with my daughter in her room or whatever, it's still three, it was three older boys in my house as well. And I don't
Mhm.
want anything to happen that, what about something happened to this girl prior coming to my house, but then it's easy to blame it to my on my boys. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? So I mean, it's a lot of things that can happen. That's why it's very important. Like I say it over and over again, the line of communication, get to know the people who's around you, who's in your circle, the people your kids associated with. It's very important. Very, very important. It's not going to solve everything, but the more you know, the more better you can do. You know what I mean?
Right. Absolutely.
Now, for the adults, yeah, um, I don't know. I just when I get in this type of talking about forbidden sex, it's you gotta tread very lightly because you don't want to disrespect people, you don't
Mhm.
want to offend people. But I mean, I'm a very open, voicey type of person, and sometimes that get me in trouble because I would say exactly what it is, but then I had to be careful, what I'm trying to get out without pissing anybody off.
Mhm.
Even though if I'm giving you my opinion or facts,
Mhm.
I still had to be aware of people's feelings, and I'm still learning that every day. So, uh, excuse me if I have, make anybody feel funny with, or if I seem like I'm coming off kind of angry or it's not intentional. I can get very passionate about this because I have family members and same like Coco, who've been through certain situations, and it can, sometimes get to you. We all human, we all have feelings, you
Mhm.
know, and so how you say it? Don't charge to my head, not to my heart. But anyway, let's say for adults, what is forbidden sex? When you hear that, what do you think when I say that forbidden sex? What's the first thing that come to mind?
Who be or
Yeah,
anybody? Okay.
yeah.
Oh,
You in the
forbidden
chat.
means yeah, no permission.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not. It shouldn't happen.
Okay. All right. Let me ask you this. If you if you if you out having a drink and you're somewhere like at a club or at a bar, and somebody comes up to you um and they said they're talking to you, they touch your hand or they're touching your shoulder, is that considered forbidden sex?
Well, it may be you may be going. You may be in my personal space. You may be because your phone went out a little bit, but um, you may be in my personal space, and you may be inappropriate, but penetration has not happened yet.
Oh, okay. But no, the reason why I say that because a lot of times people don't look at it as being a advancement for sex.
Hmm.
Sometimes people can take that as a feeling of somebody who is trying to be affectionate in a sexual way.
If it makes you feel uncomfortable,
Mm-hmm.
then it's a problem. See,
Okay.
as long if you don't okay, if the person you're touching, not you, but I'm just saying, the person you're touching don't feel uncomfortable, as far as the shoulders is concerned, or maybe the hand, then okay, then that's iffy. But as soon as you do that, or if you do it and they start to feel uncomfortable, and first there's the problem, and then if you proceed, that's bigger problem because now you're really, I don't like it, and now you're going past my comfort zone. So that means that you're really trying to overpower me. You're trying to take my power.
Okay. I mean, that's one way of looking at it. But what would you call that though? Would that just be a somebody is in your comfort zone, or is that a potential of unwanted sexual advancement?
Again, it just depends on how the person that's receiving looks at it. Some people it's not an issue with them, and then some people it is. So I can't. make a blanket statement like it for everybody because it just is going to depend on how you feel.
Okay. Okay. I get you on that. I
Yeah.
definitely get you on that. Um, no, the reason why I brought at this part
Mhm.
of the conversation is because they had a couple of court cases where a person actually is doing 25 years just for touching somebody's hand and a shoulder. And even though this person, first of all, um, this person is known to be gay and is attracted to men only, he still got 25 years for, he's a touchy hands type of person. But to, like you said, to another person, it sometimes it can come off as feeling that somebody as a not only feel like they're attacking you,
Mhm.
it's like it feel like an unwanted advancement to sex type of touch.
Mhm.
At first, I have like that's nonsense, but after listening to the case and how it went through, um, I learned a lot on it, and I'm like, oh, okay, I can understand how they can actually see that. But that great area just put a person who come from a family that they're very touchy, and then also him being, you know, um, a gay man. Um, that's another controversial type of thing that's with him that's not in his favor. But even though it happened to a woman, it was considered still uh, him being given a sexual advancement without saying it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And now it's taken 25 years out of his life just for having a conversation at a bar and just being touched. Almost the same as there was having the controversy on TV where, potential or hopefully be our president, Joe Biden. Um, he liked to when he talked to people. Well, not now, but at first they were saying that he liked to touch people all the time. On the arm, the shoulder, and then they said that he groped a few people, but it haven't been found. But almost the same situation.
Mhm.
When is it too far, and um, when is it that when it becomes unwanted if that person is a touchy type of person, because you got families who are like that, especially the older generation. Is when you talking to somebody, it's almost a conference. Same like some doctors, some psychiatrists, and so psychologists, therapists. When it's almost like an insurance. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Um, Assurance of comfort as they talking to you. Is how they're passing on their energy to you, but not in a disrespectful way. But a lot, in this society and at this time, a lot of things is very sensitive. So, how do we know which is which? Um, when somebody, well, we're not touching now because of the pandemic. Let's say, after this is past and gone and we get back into it, things going to be a lot more sensitive, and people is going to almost be in the same situation as the person who got locked up for 25 years, which a lot of people feel he shouldn't have got locked up for because he really haven't done anything, in most eyes. But you can't tell a person how they feel. So where do we come to a mutual ground to understand certain things, certain expressions?
Me myself, I would just discern your atmosphere. You can kind of tell when you're in the midst of people who is approachable in that way and who is not. And anytime you doubt, don't touch at all. I don't care if it's a hug, a pat, a tap. just don't. Just,
Right.
and if there's any questions about, well, Dad, you didn't give me a hug because I didn't know, so I don't
Well,
want to
that's a good
be,
way. Yeah.
yeah, I don't, so yeah,
Yeah.
I would just leave it up to that person. And let me say this, even though I've had things like that to happen to me, I do know that some of the people who bring charges against people, the charges is chumped up. Okay.
True.
A
True.
lot of that, even though, and I hate to say this, and women gonna get mad at me when I say this, but sometimes these women do stuff like it to get back at people,
Hmm.
and it's wrong because you're playing with people's lives, where there's people like myself and other women who have been through stuff like that, and it puts a damper on all of us. It makes us look bad because you want to play with the system, you know um so, and I know, I heard different things and I see different things, and I can tell you, by being in that situation for years growing up,
Hmm.
and also now by me being a counselor, I can kind of tell when a story is exaggerated on the news and then when it actually happened.
But you know what? I'm glad you said something about that. Some of it is obvious, but as I learn, sometimes with the news, that even though a lot of stories can be over exaggerated, sometimes it has truth in it,
Well, yeah, that's
and
what it is. Hmm.
but the thing is, my thing about the media is that it actually can play a big part of which way it can go. You know what I mean? For instance, what I'm trying to get at is like, say, for instance, that in that town, people have been talking about that situation, and then it goes to court, and they got to pick out a jury. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Now you're supposed to have a unbiased thought, and you're supposed to have being a juror, you're supposed to not have a knowledge on the case most times that you can already have a conclusion on what this person, allegedly did. And where the problem lies is that with the media, a lot of times they make people either they look guilty, make them look guilty, even though if they're not guilty. And then you have some people who are, you know, are guilty, and the media make them look like they're not guilty. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So a lot of times I don't take the media account for, because it plays too heavy into a situation until it's retracted. But a lot of times it's already too late, because everybody already made up their mind because of what they found out on the news. See what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
that's not fair. It's not fair at all. But I mean, that's what it is right now. Um, but go back to the subject. I'm like really torn about this gentleman that had, that's going through this. Uh, he's got 25 years just for a person that was sitting at the bar talking to another person, and he just sitting there, and he didn't, from the testimony from her side and his side, that you know um it didn't sound like that it was he was coming on to her, or even trying to make a sexual type of advance to her, but she felt like that she was going to be raped and all types of stuff. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to take away from her, how she felt. If she felt that way, then she felt that way. But how is that considered a sexual advance? You know what I mean? When somebody touch your hand, and it being, I mean, if you take and you move your hand back, and then that person takes and try to touch your hand again, then I can see that as being okay. Even if it's not a sexual advance, it's still being a being against you want to be touched. So that's almost like you're assaulting a person. See what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But if you're sitting there and you're talking with them and they take it, they put their hand on your hand, not in a funny way, but just like almost like a priest, when you shake his hand and he take his other hand and he cover over your hand and he's talking to you, he keep, going up and down by, talking to you and shaking your hand with both hands. That's not, a sexual advancement or an assault. It's just a reassurance. Hey, I got your full attention and you got mine. You know what I mean? But now a person is doing time for something that a person let somebody else let them touch their hand, didn't say anything right then and there, but then the next day make a complaint that they feel like this person was trying to rape them from touching them.
Did you see 300's question to you?
Oh, okay. Answer me. I'm not trying to bring race into, but was a man white and a woman was white? Both were black. Um, well, neither. Well, what the woman was white, of course. So yeah, I feel you on that. And the man was Hispanic. Uh,
Mm.
yeah. Well, I don't know. He's a Latino. I don't know if he's what part Hispanic he is, but you can tell he speaks Spanish. He looks like a Latin person, and the way his name is, I'm not going to say it here, but it's um, like a Spanish name. Um, and now his whole life been thrown out there, and it's been of course tarnished because he's also a gay man, and this is the ironic part, not meaning that you know um that he don't have sex with women, but it's just from the testimony from both sides. How can that still happen? I mean, again, I don't want to discredit women, from feeling the way they feel, but my thing is, again, if your hand is right, if I come up and I touch your hand as I'm talking to you, and you pull your hand back, because like almost like the way you don't want to be touched, then I'm understanding what you're saying without saying anything. Okay, yeah, you don't like to be touched. But if you're still indulging the conversation and leaving your hand there, and I'm not doing anything. I'm not trying to touch your breast or your butt, your leg, or anything. It's just as I'm talking to you, I just have my hand there. Then the next day, I got the police arresting me saying that, I tried to rape you. You see what I'm saying? So
Mm.
it's like, I understand this is, forbidden sex is the conversation, but this is one of the things that's going on around unwanted sex. But where do we draw the line on certain things that are not considered that to some people, but it is to others? How do we meet in a mutual ground in that situation?
That's a good question. That's really a good question. And as I stated, if in all doubt, wait it out. That's the only thing I can say. If there is a doubt, wait it out. Don't touch, don't hug, whatever.
Yeah,
Because and again, when you deal with people, you can kind of pick up on what
not all
type of.
times though. Not all times.
Oh well,
Not,
let me change this then. When I deal with people, I can kind of discern what person I'm dealing with.
yes.
And I approach everyone as if there could be an issue. Like
Well, that's
I don't mean
understandable because the situation that you've been in, I would look at you differently if you didn't. You know what I mean? Because sometimes certain things that happen to you makes you be very precautious on any situation. You see what I'm
yeah,
saying?
but
But
see,
for the people
also
who have it, a lot of times they're walking eyes wide shut.
yeah, but also some of that is just street smarts. Some of that, like I grew up in the projects, and so
Right,
I
right.
thank God for growing up in the projects because it taught you survival lessons. It taught you what to look for, how to see what
Hmm.
you don't see, how to, scope out your surroundings, how to discern the people in front of you. Because
Okay.
if people make a certain move, if their voice go up, if they do
Hmm.
this, they do that, then they're gonna do X, Y, and Z.
Okay.
So, I mean, I got those lessons actually
Okay.
before the sexual lessons, because again, it's to me, and then like I said, I always have to say to me because I don't want to offend nobody, but to me, I just feel like you always err on the side of caution. You always err on the side of caution. Like me, I don't meet a stranger. Like when I meet people, I don't meet a stranger. It's like we've been knowing each other for years. But
Hmm.
that's who I am. But however, I don't, I'm a hugger. So when I see people, I'm like, oh hi, I'm a hugger. But
Hmm.
even with that, I still like, okay, that one I can't hug, but I will speak.
Okay.
That one I can't hug, I will shake the hand, or something of that nature. But
Okay.
yeah, you just have to discern.
I mean, but see, one thing you said very that stands out there, that okay, the environment that you grew up in, um, has taught you a lot of things, and it you pass it on to your children. So, but let me ask you this: what about if a lot of people who did not grow up in that type of
Thanks, real mama.
situation? What about people who didn't grow up in that type of situation? Um, and they're not able to look at certain things like that. Even with that being said, as well, let's say your kids, they're grown now, right?
Oh
I
my
mean, a lot of your
God.
kids are grown, and now they're venture out on their own. And even though you taught them a lot of things, and and you taught them in a certain environment, if they move to other environments that's not so harsh, and they get very complacent and very uh, uh, um, comfortable. A lot of times they don't think about those type of things as they start having kids and raising their kids, because they're in a different environment. Even though those things still happen, how would you go about that for people who don't know still? You
I,
know what I mean?
my answer still doesn't change because, see, when you become 18, you become somewhat legal. Let's just say legal,
Yeah,
because mentally
that's
some
true.
people are still not adults, so you become
Which I
legal.
disagree with, because if you're 18, you can go to war and kill people. I think you still should be able to drink, so they should be able to change that law. And this is my personal opinion. You
Hey,
know,
Nikki, baby.
hey Nikki, baby, little feet. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, it's just
And did you
I'm
see
against that. I'm against
300
that.
comments to you? He's been commenting a couple things to you. I'm just
Hey,
reading it while you talking.
if but are you on your phone, your computer?
Who?
You
Computer.
can you get 300? Come up on the phone so you can voice your opinion as well. See, he tried to get away. We ain't gonna let him get away like that.
Hmm. He said what I said. Don't common sense come into play? But I feel like it's too. And a lot of people don't have common sense.
Right, that
Thinking
part. See, that's exactly what I was going at. A lot of times people get too lax, and they don't think. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And it's just crazy. But situations that can happen almost just the same as this ludicrous. I mean, I ain't gonna say ludicrous, almost like you. I look at certain things on try to look at both sides of it, and I try to keep it equal. So for one, if I was in that situation and I look on both sides of it, I'll be like, well, yeah, on this side, that's crazy to me. But then on the other side, well, that's how, a person made me feel that way, then I can understand. But it's like, where did the line get drawn at? You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So that's why I'm trying to get everybody perspective on how would you look at it, and what is your opinion on it?
Mhm. Well, again, um, it is no one answer cures all. It's not, because no matter what you do, it's going to alienate some people. It's not something where everybody's gonna be like, oh well, that's good. Yeah, both sides gonna be like, okay, that's good. We're gonna get along. No, it's gonna alienate some people because one side may feel like, oh well, that's too strict. Another side may feel like, well, that's ridiculous.
Right, right.
So yeah, I just say again, use common sense. And the point I wanted to make about that is when I said you don't have to grow up in an environment like I did. When you become 18, you become legal, and there's a lot of things that people surf to do. What I mean by surf to do, they go on Google. If it's something you want to learn, you're going to look for it. If it's something you want to know, you're going to seek it. So this is something this is a survival skill that if you want to know, you need to know how to discern people's, intentions, their motives, um, know who you're standing in front of. It's all out there for us to find, and I feel like a lot of times people don't do the work. And so they become
Yeah,
ignorant of the law. And ignorance of the law don't mean that you still don't get punished.
yeah. I mean, yeah, yeah. You're right about that. I definitely agree with that. I mean, but it's just crazy because I mean, I think everybody can agree to
That's
a
right, real
certain
mamas.
degree.
I agree with that. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry, Anthony.
Ain't a problem. And tell comments. So everybody, people have plenty of buck sense, but nothing of the street. Right, right, and that's like one of my points. Um, but this is where it gets kind of crazy. Is that when you have kids that, or you're not even kids, even adults that's come up in this time right now, and not people our age, we're used to looking for the answer compared to the children today, or the people of today, or the computer age. The answers are already there. Just got to ask them. They have devices. They have the internet and everything. They can get the answer compared to when we had to search and look for answers ourselves. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And they don't utilize it, what's in front of them.
Right.
You know what I mean? So even you have something that will come ask you certain questions that that will, to me, per se, like with my youngins, they some adults and some still young, but I feel certain questions, or certain things that they can learn by with the devices and stuff they have in their hand, that it's something that's simple. You know what I mean? But
Hmm.
if it's something that's kind of hard, like where Mama says, like the book part about it, they would do all the homework to go do that. But when it comes to certain life situations that, you sitting there, you on the internet, and you're looking at World Star. Now everybody know World Star. What's mostly on there, fighting. You know what I mean? Seeing somebody getting beat up, or the latest challenge, dance challenge or something. Okay, so with that being said, you can look up that stuff, but when it comes to, I'm trying to find a good. I mean, because me and my daughter, we go through this off and on. She asks me certain questions, and I'm like, well, you got your, why don't you look it up? Instead of
Hmm.
just asking me, I have no problem answering the question. But if you have a way of finding out on your own, you know, I'm
Do
trying to
your due
encourage.
diligence.
Right, exactly. You know what I mean? But again,
Can
they
I
don't.
can I address real mamas real quick? Can I say something to her?
Go ahead, go ahead.
Okay, real mamas, I know you right. Let me tell you something. I have always, even as a 12 and 13-year-old child, I've always had a big old booty. Okay, actually, that's how I'm known. Okay, and it ain't went away. The older I get, the more defined it became. And so you're right. When you go into clubs, men think that's a right. Not all men, but men think that's a rite of passage. And I done had men smack me on my. They don't know me from the hole in the wall, done smacked me on my butt and everything, and I'm a fighter, so I turns around with my fist like, "Hey." I don't play it. You know what I'm saying? So, oh, I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, don't touch me like that. I don't know you.
Right, right.
Just because you like the way I look, don't give you the right to touch me.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're right. You are absolutely right. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Right. I'm glad she brought that point up because that was going to be my next thing of being touched in certain areas because of your body, a certain way your body is appealing to certain people. Don't give the right for them to come and touch you. That was going to be my next thing once I get this one, because then you have some women who or men who don't say anything, and that gives almost the person who's doing it the okay to
Mhm.
continue to do that. And then you have some who don't want to start anything because they feel that their spouse or their parent is going to go haywire if they say something about somebody touching them. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Um, what do we do about situations like this when it comes to the unwanted touching, especially for um, how can I put it? Almost like you say you go to the club and basically a guy touch you, and if you have a spouse or if you're underage and you're talking to your if you're with your parents, how how do we um, be open to have that conversation with our significant others or with our parents without them being scared that something's going to happen if they do? That's my question.
Okay. You kind of lost me. What?
Okay, like for instance, like say for instance, because no, it's something in my head that I'm trying to put out. Basically, like say for instance, like Mr. 929, just say you went out with the girls
Mhm.
and y'all you and real mamas went out to the club, and then some guys came up because y'all got big booties. They come and they just grab your ass, and then they talking shit or whatever, blah blah blah.
Mhm.
And a lot of times if there's a lot of guys, you're not going to try to put yourself in a situation that you can get hurt, but you still been disrespected. You know, you have some that don't tell their spouses that the situation that happened because they think that they might get hurt if they try to go and fix a situation. But my question is why a lot of people don't say anything, and secondly, they should be more of call the authorities, um, tell their spouses, so these people don't think they can go around and do what they want to anybody at any time. How do we stop this?
I can just tell you about me. My thing is, like I said, this right here has been happening to me since I was in middle school. So, but my thing is, as far as an adult is concerned, I don't care. Okay, let me make this disclaimer. Like I told you, I fight males as well as females. It don't make me no difference. So from 8 to 80 can get it at any time. That was my mentality because you're not going to. Once I start opening up my mouth about what was happening with me, I will not shut it. So
Right.
that's where I'm at with it.
Okay. But look what Big Mama said. I mean, Real Mama said.
I still say I don't care. If it's 90, I don't care. The first thing I holler is, "Who touched me? Don't touch
Hmm.
me no more." You know what I'm saying? So
And that's
I leave it
great.
like now. As far as me
Okay.
telling,
Yeah, go ahead.
as far as me telling like my spouse for what? I mean, like if it really offends me, where I'm crying and and I just think I can't, just then yeah. But something like that, no, I handle that. I don't need to tell you for that because I got that. And believe it or not, that is that is a discussion between me and him because I am that type of person that I don't back down.
Mhm.
And his thing is don't take me don't take being your husband away from me. Let me be the one that
Right.
block.
See, the same
Yeah.
thing as as people underage,
Hmm.
don't take the parent away from being a parent as well.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. But they're almost the same situation you were just saying. You know, I understand that if you take care of the situation yourself, that's fine. But sometimes you have just what real mamas is saying, that you have people who thinks this funny. Some people grew up a certain way and they don't know no better. But this say that same person in your area did that to you. Not saying you
Hmm.
as Coco 929, but just
Hmm.
another individual, and they let it go. And also they didn't speak to their spouse about it. But
Hmm.
then you in a store and you run into that person again. You know what I mean? And they think because they did what they did the last time, they can do it again. And then if they spouse come and they walk up to see the same thing at the same time, see what I'm saying? See how it can go to another extreme? That's what
Hmm.
I mean by the communication on some things I
See,
think need to be talked about. That's just
and
my opinion.
yeah, and I agree with you to a certain extent, but the type of female I am, it's like he's got more on his mind to worry about than some tackheads that don't know their boundaries. Now, like I said, if they grab me and try to keep me captive, I say some unreal stuff to me, and it goes deeper than just me addressing them and it stop, then yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Not only am I gonna tell my husband, tell my brothers too. You know what I'm saying? So
Uh,
that's just how that's gonna go.
okay.
But more to the point though, I try not to put a lot of unnecessary stress on my mate. It's just that's not
But
me.
see, but just like what he told you, what you just said just a few seconds ago, and I see you. I'm sorry, real mamas. I was just getting up, waking up not too long ago, so my mind is still, trying to get back on track. My apologies again. I didn't mean to call you Big Mama. It's real mamas, real problems. And 300, stop it. um, but no, like you were just saying a second ago, uh, with letting your husband be your husband, don't take his job away from him.
Yeah, but
You
that's
see,
petty. That's
huh?
petty. Like to me. Okay, like I said, that's petty. That's like the least thing. Now, again, that's why I gave those other examples. But something like that, that's petty. I wouldn't dare.
But see, that's the thing though. That's petty to you. Let me
Yeah.
ask you this. Okay, so if a woman grows up and she's grabbing your husband's junk,
Hmm.
grabbing his tool, and
Hmm.
and he don't, and he don't come and say anything to you about the situation, and just say the whole role, just vice versa. It happens in the club. He out with the boys, and that happens to him, and then you know you run into that situation again, and this person, they will say something. You know what I mean? Well, I didn't know. He was married. Like I said, we was in the grocery store. Oh, I didn't know he was married, and this and that. He didn't act like he was married when he let me grab his tool and this and that. It opens up a whole lot of can of worms. You know what I mean? Even though if you dealt with the situation, I still think some things still need to be talked about. You know what I mean? Especially
Okay.
when it comes to disrespecting, crossing grounds that to me is, if you put your hand on my children or my spouse,
Hmm.
I want to know about it. Regardless if you took care of the situation or not, I still want to know about it. That's
Okay.
just me, because you never know what is going to come down the pipe. You will already be aware of the situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
So,
and talking and just having a conversation, like if he say, "Baby, how did the night go with y'all?" I might tell him how the night went. Say, "Oh yeah, some dude gonna grab my butt." I might say it like that, but to run home, "Baby, some dude grab my butt."
well, no, 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 no. I'm not saying
Oh,
that even though you handle the situation,
mhm.
but still, if you say, yeah, I had a problem, some man that he was reaching, and I put him in this place, you know,
Yeah.
and then of course they're gonna like, well, who's the person, this and that, blah blah blah. Okay, but it's still there. You know what I mean? That
Hmm.
conversation has taken place. You know what I mean? And then it's not a option to that person that, okay, that person being left out of the situation is.
Well, and
But
even with that though, Anthony, like he knows me enough to know. That's why I say I can talk about my situation. I don't know about anybody else's, but he knows me enough to know if I come to him, that means it's bad. Like I said, but other than that, he knows,
see,
I
look at
ain't
what
gonna.
Mama said.
Well,
She gets too old. But for real though, you have women that will feel that way. That's why I had to be even on both sides. We had this conversation a lot of times. The even playing ground. You know what I
now,
mean?
see, I will tell you something that he didn't do, though. I will tell you that.
Okay.
And that was when he was a manager at this particular restaurant in Louisville, Kentucky. This woman liked the way he smelled. Now, I'm
Hmm.
glad you liked it because I bought it. Okay. All of it I
Okay.
bought. So, but she liked the way he smelled. He was in the lobby and she touched his chest and he pushed her back. She's, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to, I was just trying to. He said, yeah, but don't touch me,
Hmm.
like that. And so he told her, he said, and then somebody else said something. He's like, nah, man, it ain't my wife. And he was like, oh, he's like, yeah, don't touch me. So the next time the chick came in, she used that same, oh, but you smell so nice, and
Hmm.
touched him again.
See,
Okay.
that's
But
my point right
he had already told me about it,
there.
which
Exactly.
he didn't have to. But he handled it. I didn't have to know that, but that's how he is.
Okay,
See,
but
and I
guess
feel
what
like
though?
you gotta know your spouse. Like I know he'll tell me, and he know unless it's deep, I won't tell him. So we understand it with each other. You
Okay,
understand what I'm saying? So
I
I'm not
got you.
gonna. But anyway, the next time, like I said, the second time that happened, I so happened to be pulling up in the parking lot.
But see, and exactly. Sometimes, even though you take care of the situation, sometimes don't stop the situation. You know what I mean? But your spouse has been alerted. You know what I mean? And been aware of the situation.
I just can't tell him no. To me, you gotta know where you gotta know who I am. I just can't tell him no bogus stuff. That's so bogus. That's so
I
to me.
mean, touching somebody, inappropriately. I mean, I feel you, and you have their right. You know what I mean? But to me, that's a no no. That's
It
just
is a no no. But what I'm saying is, I'm just one. I don't want to put stress on my spouse like that because he can't go everywhere with me. He just can't. Now, like I said, if we're talking, cool. And I bring it up. That's what
But how,
happened to me.
but how would you say that's stress?
Because I mean, man, he got too much. I would think
If he
any
know
man.
who, like you said, if he know who you are,
But it's
only
stress. My point being about it being stress is some things are petty. And I feel like women weigh men down too much with petty stuff that they can take care of themselves. A lot of things is just petty. It's like it's not even worth mentioning. But like I said, if it escalated from after I say, don't touch me no more, and it escalates, then I got a husband. I'm gonna tell you, okay, I ain't gonna argue with you. I got
but see,
somebody.
that's my point right there.
Hmm.
No, you did everything, in my opinion, right. You
Hmm.
did communicate the situation. My thing, almost the same thing, like him having that cologne on and working in the establishment he's working in. He made it very clear, don't do that. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And he said something to you about it.
Hmm.
It wasn't to stress you. He would just let you know, hey, this is what happened, blah blah blah.
But see,
But
that's my
then,
point.
but then she tried to do it
Mhm,
again. You know what I
mhm.
mean? And with you already knowing the situation, just like you said, you just put it to the parking lot. They say they was talking in the parking lot. You just put it in the parking lot, and even though if he never told you about the situation, and you see her trying to advance and grab on him, how would that look to you?
Well, here's the thing. I know my spouse,
All right.
and that's why I say I don't want to put stress on
Uh
my
oh, you went
spouse.
out again. Let's see.
You know what I'm saying? That's where your
Yeah.
and like
Hey,
I said, when
hey,
I walk
hey,
in,
hey, hold on, hold on, hold on. You went out
hmm,
for about 10 seconds.
Oh Lord, with this thing. Okay. Now I was saying that that's where that common sense and that discernment come in at as well. Now, when I did, and it's so funny because they saw me. Somebody said, "Ain't that your wife?" And she looked, and he looked. He said, "Yup," and start laughing. And she was like, "I gotta go." And she broomed. And I wanted to know why the girl went out the door so fast. And his workers was laughing. And they said, "How you doing?" You know, they called me his name. And I'm like, "Hi, what's going on?" He said, "That was the girl." I saw the cologne girl. He said, "Yeah." He said, "She just tried to touch me again." And I told her, I said, "Ah, that's why she ran." You know, and we laughed about it. But that was it. But I know him and he knows me. We deal with things differently. And I give him the space to deal with it the way he feel. Because
Hmm.
I don't want to be absurd to him, and he gives me the space to deal with it my way. It's only when it gets deep, when I don't tell
Okay.
him to try to handle it, then that's what pisses him off. When it gets deep, because he's like, "Hold on, wait a minute, you out of order. You should have told me that." And I'm like, "Well, yeah,
But
true,
yeah, see, and that's what I'm trying to get at.
yeah." But
You
that
know,
little petty stuff like this to
it's
me,
not
that's
the
petty.
but see, what can be petty to you might
Mhm.
not be to your spouse, or or your partner. You know what I mean? That's what it's the same thing that he said. What you said just a few minutes ago. You know, don't take away me being your husband. You
Right,
know what
but
I mean?
hitting somebody on the butt, that's not deep. But the other thing that I mentioned, then that's deep. That's why I'm saying I know the difference. I know like
Okay,
what to
yeah, yeah,
say.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not going against you.
No,
I'm
I'm
going.
agreeing with you too.
I
I'm just trying to make some clarity. That's it. That's it.
right, right. Hey, Marianne. And real mama, she's making a lot of good points in there too.
If only
Um,
she does in front of me, she gets facts. Facts. But I so happened to not. I was pulling up, girl. She broomed. she
yeah,
that's not funny. But she broomed. But
but see,
I realized
where's
let me say this.
Auntie Donna? Auntie Donna. Remember when we were just talking? I think last session that we had, and she was telling us about this church situation with the I think it was the one of the preachers or the pastor that he was with his wife and he was grabbing on Auntie Donna because she got a big booty. He went down too far, but she turned around and said like, "Hey, you're going down too far." You know, you're
Mhm.
trying to, and then looked at his wife, and you have people that are very bold and would do certain things, and like we was talking about, I'm like, if he's that bold to do that with his wife right there, he been doing that for a while, and no telling how many times he been doing that in church
Yeah.
already. There's
And then
Auntie
let
Donna
me
right there.
yeah, let me say this too. And I wanted to say this to real mamas. Um yeah, I what you said is I'm with you on that. Handle it. Yeah, I'm with that. But let me tell you something also. I have never been a jealous wife nor girlfriend at all. And my husband is sexier than a mother. Let me just keep
Mm-hmm.
it 100. He's handsome. He's sexy. He used to box. He's a rank boxer. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? So people in the state, especially the city of Louisville, know him. He's got a reputation. Okay. When he was a manager at this restaurant, he had been at that job for 30 something years. All type of women come in there. They
All right.
come in there drunk. They come in there proposition him to suck him off for some chicken,
Okay.
all that and stuff. So, I mean, if I was the type to tell him every little thing, I wanted to know every little thing, we would never get no peace because it
Well,
would
but
always
hold on. Can I stop you right there? Everything you just told us, how did you find out?
how because I know my husband.
No, but how did you find out most of the stuff you just said just now?
Because I used to go to the restaurant and I know how they come in there.
But
They come in
also,
there,
he talks to you as well, right?
but he don't tell me everything, and I don't want to know everything because it's petty. Unless somebody, I'm just that type of person, and I know I seem like a unicorn or something, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not a jealous girlfriend, wife, nothing. I
I don't
don't.
even look at it as being
No, no, no.
jealous.
Let me finish. I don't look at it like that. I don't micromanage my husband. I don't
Hmm.
do none of that because he's a man. And
Right.
it's common sense if he works in a major restaurant here in Louisville, Kentucky
Hmm.
and this major restaurant is known for having the prostitutes coming there,
Right.
short dressed women,
Right.
all this and stuff.
Right.
Now we have communication, don't get me wrong. So, it may be other people that we're talking about, but what I'm saying is if something like that happened, he ain't gotta come home and say, guess what? Okay, let me tell you, I ain't that tight. I ain't that tight, bro. It ain't even me.
Yeah, understand. Understand. I mean, everybody's different. Everybody's different. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
my thing about the whole situation is the communication. It's not, to me, the jealousy is not that. It's just the grounds of respect. You know what I mean?
But when
Because
do you
you have a
understand?
lot out here that don't have it. I mean, case in point, what real mama said earlier. You have the ones that think some stuff is funny. And some people who think that it's okay to do that because that's the way they came up. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And you know, a lot of times you see situations that reoccur. You know what I mean? Because if
When
you
do
go to that
you?
same place and you see the same people, they think that they can go over the line. Not in your case, because you stop it right there in the tracks. My point about it is it's not a point of
You
you are
cannot.
bringing it to like, hey, baby, this guy is bothering me and this and that. He grabbed all over my ass, even though I told him all blah 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 this and that. No, I'm not saying in that sense. You
No,
handle
I'm
the
saying
situation.
I'm talking from a counselor's point of view too. You know
Okay.
what sometimes put pressure on marriages?
Right.
Minute stuff that don't need to be said.
Yeah.
Minute stuff. Because you always have one that is so what can I say? One you have one person sometimes, not always, let me clarify that. Sometimes you have one person that just gotta be, I just just gotta be like the main dominating, just I'm just wanna know everything. And then you got the
No, no,
other
no,
one
no, no.
that,
I'm not
no,
saying that either.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm making a point. I'm making a point about counseling.
Okay.
What I'm saying is you have and whenever you in a relationship, you gotta leave people room to be who they are and to handle situations the way they feel. If the
Okay.
problem arises where it's not benefiting each other, then that's when the conversation comes out. Look, I know to you it may not be X, Y, and Z, but I need you to tell me that. So that's when you have those conversations. But if it's
Mhm.
never an issue, then you don't want to create an issue. That's my point.
Yeah, I understand that. And like you said, but if you know your spouse and you know
Right. There you
who
go.
they are, then certain conversations. To me, I'm just
Hmm.
saying this for
Hmm.
me, in my opinion, and what type of environment I like to be in
Hmm.
is open. You know, you should able to come to me and tell me certain things and not always overlook certain situations
There
that
you go, real mama, for
when
real.
it comes to being being disrespected. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Again, you gotta, like, I'm gonna go back to the beginning. You have a gentleman who was talking to somebody in the bar and to put their hand on another person's hand as they talking, not in a sexual way, got 25 years. Now, if the same person that was in the club who grabbed your ass, see what I'm saying? See my point now? See where I'm going with it? He fully disrespected you in a sexual way. Not just saying that this conversation only with your husband. It's just period. Forbidden sex, forbidden touches. It's just how do we go and, for one, stop in the tracks? Stop it in its tracks, teaching our youngins how to talk to people, but where does it go too far? And then also the communication part on the unforbidden touches. My part is, if a man can get 25 years just for touching somebody's hand, why it ain't being communicated when somebody come and grab your ass? You know what I mean? That's what I'm at with it. I still think it's a conversation that's needed. That's just my opinion on it. Oh, I lost Coco again.
Yeah, I'm not here.
Okay, okay. It got quiet. It got real quiet.
I'm
Um,
listening. Hello?
I'm here. I'm here. No, I'm sorry. I was reading Real Mamas.
Okay.
Me neither. Trust you until you give me a reason not to. Don't listen to he said, she said. I mean, right. That's right. If you have a doubt about anything, it's because I observe it my own self or in their actions. Yeah, that's one. That's another perspective. I mean, that's what your spouse, but it's to me, it's not that you're looking for them to do anything wrong. I'm talking about if something that's happened to you, almost the same thing you were saying earlier, Real Mamas. That if a man is grabbing your man's junk, and in a certain way, and even though he took care of it, some people, some spouses will want to know that, you know what I mean? And you have some don't really care to hear that, especially if they already know they handle the situation. But this say, and for instance, if that person frequent that same place, and there's a possibility that person could be there again to do it again, almost the same as in Coco's situation, her husband's situation. That woman that comes in there, not the prostitute, not the the drunk person,
Mhm.
because these people, of course, their mind is distorted. But you had this one particular person who is basically taking interest, and it's not being you being jealous about the situation. It's the level of the disrespect is what I'm trying to get at, as having conversation about it, the communication
Mhm.
about it.
Mhm.
That's what I'm trying to be at.
Mhm.
I mean, and it's not for me to say that it's going to. If I have a person that's going to go off, a lot of times, yes, you're not going to put him in a situation that he's going to fly off the handle. Because if it's going to be a situation he's going to fly off the handle, then if you know your spouse, they not going to fly off the handle unless it's a level of disrespect that maybe the law need to be involved. Maybe somebody need to come and check that person. Only you know your spouse,
You went.
huh?
You had went out, but that's okay. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Um, can y'all hear me in the chat? I want to make sure that because I know you're going in and out a lot, Coco. So I don't know if you're
I took
going
my
out. You're not
headset out,
hearing
so
me,
I took my
huh?
headset out. I said I took my headset off now, so I'm just talking straight.
Okay. Yeah, but you starting to like sound computerish a little bit too.
Oh Lord. Okay. Let me pull it up.
Real mamas, can you hear me? Am I going in and out? Hey, 300, welcome back. I don't know if the chat moving or not. Let's see. Okay. Thanks, 300. Yes. No, you're not. Okay, so that's you, Coco. You're going in and out because real mamas can hear me.
Oh, I would. Okay. Well.
No, like I heard you too. It sounded like you, even though when I asked you, was you here? I mean, did you go anywhere? And you was like, no. And I can tell the difference as I hear you. Um, as I hear you talking, you can tell the difference with your headphones on and you have it on open mic.
Okay.
Um, but some of it starts sound kind of like computer, like you're talking
Mhm.
through like a phaser or something, and then it'll start speeding up a little bit, or it start like muffling out. So that's what I was saying. If you heard me, um,
Okay. All
going,
right.
but I think I almost lost my train of thought.
Mhm.
Um, uh, but no, again, it's,
You can hear me too. 300. Okay.
yeah, you're very clear. You're a lot clearer than last time, and okay. But no, like I was saying, that it's just the level of respect. And again, if you know your spouse and you know what makes them tick, you know what makes not tick. I can see exactly where you're coming from, Coco, by adding stress to a situation, and I get that part. But also being, apprehensive on certain situations, especially if you frequent or go to certain places that you normally like to go to. You know what I mean? You never know who's watching you. You'll never know who's paying attention to a certain person, especially if they like that person. Even you don't know anything about it. Somebody, like you said, you have crushes all the time. Use a strep. So you had regulars who that was, if they had a chance in hell, they
Mhm.
always gonna look for that golden opportunity. So they're gonna always gonna be lurking and stuff like that. So it's that type of situation that conversations need, to me, in my opinion, need to be had. And I mean,
Mhm.
understand not to give certain things that's gonna blow it all up, but at least had that conversation so it would be on the table to know. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And on the other hand, I mean, I'm still kind of like flabbergasted of the dude, like 25 years for touching somebody's hand. I mean, it's mind blowing to me. I'm sorry, it is. It's because, like you said, both of you, real mamas and Coco, y'all been grabbed on the butt, and people don't get, you know, if they might get beat up by the woman or the man or the bouncers. But how another person can go to jail for 25 years just for touching somebody's hand? That's crazy to me. You see what I'm saying? It's just wild. It's just very, very wild. Um, um, whew, I guess we can move on now. All right, for men, let's get on the men's subject of forbidden touches and forbidden sex, because a lot of times it get downplayed a lot. I brought up, one part of it that, real mom's gonna beat somebody down if somebody do something like that. And I know she definitely probably wanna know if somebody did it or not. And going by what her statement, what she said. And I feel her on that. It does make you feel that way. But not all situations have to be approached in that type of way as well. But some do, because you got some people out here are ignorant and they think they can just do anything to anybody, and sometimes you gotta let them know that you can't. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah, I mean, like they always say, sometimes if you let people get away with certain things, they think you allow them to do that, so it makes them want to do it again. If that makes sense.
Mhm.
And how they say it, people can go as far as you allow them to take you. Oh, you're going out again. Did you hear that? 300. Uh oh. I heard echo too. Yes, I would. So I can check her. Either hands get thrown or nah.
Yes, mama. I see you, sis. Right.
Right, and that's my whole point. That's exactly what I'm coming at it. But okay, let me ask you this: can a man? Well, I know from Coco, and I'm pretty sure from Real Mamas, can a man be raped from a woman?
Anytime you force yourself on somebody unwanted, it's
Hmm.
rape.
Facts, facts, and on more facts. But you have a lot of people out here with society that look at situations like you have police officers who laugh when a man calls the police He felt that he'd been sexually assaulted by a woman, by she just aggressively giving him oral or going down in his pants, and he didn't want that to happen. And he calls the police, and the police comes, and he laughs in their face. Like, are you serious? This little woman, little person is, probably half your weight, and you feel what? Um, and how do you feel about that, and the how society looks at that situation? What is your thoughts on that?
I think they paint men in a corner because if she's doing that and he smack her, I push her hard. First thing, and especially if he draws a bruise on her, she'll call the police and talk about he hit me.
Mm-hmm.
And if he says that he was just defending himself because of what she was doing, then they're not going to believe it. So when he called the cops because he don't want to hit her and say, this person did this to me right here, they laugh because you're a big strong man. You mean tell me she forced it? So I feel like when it comes to that, men have no grounds, and I think that's sad. I really do because I got sons. You know, and
Right.
that's always my thing with my sons. I want them to be careful.
Yeah, because you got people who've been locked up and ain't even touch them. What's that movie? I think it was a Tyler Perry movie or something. And the lady, no, it wasn't Tyler Perry. It was the one with Martin Lawrence, and he had what's her name, Angela Bassett, I believe. It's a '90s movie, and him and Bobby Brown was in the movie, and he supposed to be a player, trying to be a nightclub
Thin line
owner.
between love and hate.
Yeah, that's it right there. That's it
Hmm.
right there. And remember when the lady took and she beat herself, and
Yep.
but that happens in real life. That happens in real life,
Hmm.
and it's sad. Do you think the laws still need to be worked on between the difference between men and women when it comes to forbidden sex, forbidden sex advances? Uh, do you still think it need to be worked on?
I think a lot needs to be worked on. Period. But yeah, then again, I mean, it's such a thin line because
Hey, DVD.
on each side, you always have someone that will stretch the truth.
Yeah.
Will always have someone that will use the law for their personal gain when they know nothing happened or it didn't happen that way. So yes, it still needs to be overhauled, but then again, you know, it's just
I
crazy.
mean, it plays. It's like it's real, almost like the Central Park Five. And,
Mhm.
and even though that's been highlighted, um, to this day, the prosecutors still have not, spent any time in jail for what she did deliberately with
Mhm.
the chief police in New York. At the time, and also
It's
all
like
the other people involved. Those guys, yeah, they might got money out of the situation, but look what they lost. You know
yeah,
what I mean? They
300,
still go ahead
300 asking you what was the question.
on.
Because you just said something about men. He wanted to know what the question
Oh,
was.
Do you think that the laws between men and women, especially when it comes to sexual assault, forbidden touches, and forbidden sexual advances, do you think the law still need to be worked on making it an even playing ground? Because this, as I don't know if you heard me earlier, I was saying that a guy, there's a woman like 4'11", weighed maybe 100 pounds soaking wet, and then you have this guy who maybe weighed 250 with 6% body fat, so basically he's a muscle bound dude, but she goes and put her hands down his pants, you know, and he calls the police because he feels that he's been sexually assaulted, and the police come and laugh in his face, and think, because he's a big dude, and why are you calling? And then to sidebar it, throwing slurs out saying that, what are you, gay or something? Nothing against community. I'm just telling you the situation that happened. I don't want nobody to get offended out there. But that's what the officer said. Um, and if you believe that it need to be worked on, um, my question on top of that is how and why. Oh, okay. Right, right. Okay, I see. Yeah, it's a different, just like it's a different with spousal abuse. Right. It's not taken seriously, especially on the men's side. I mean, but hold on, dog. Let me disagree a little bit, not much, but just a little bit. You have some states that do recognize when it comes to men being assaulted by women, because you do have some women out here that can get twisted from drinking or drugging, and they will snap like a firecracker and will bust people in the head. I mean, if you look at what's that show? The police was it live PD. I seen a lot of women get locked up for hitting the man. The man ain't do nothing. And then actually police putting up on the scene, and the woman just sitting there smacking and kicking and hitting, and he just standing there. You know what I mean? And they're just sit there and lie. But some states will definitely. I think Virginia, certain cities, and I don't know if real mamas can back me up on this, but I know like in Fairfax County, uh, they go on who hit who first, and if both hit, both going to jail. Period. I don't know how the laws still are down in Tidewater, but I know in some part of the state of Virginia, who hit who and is going to jail. I mean, just crazy facts. Let's see. Yeah, it's different. Right, Marianne? It is. That's part of the question. I couldn't hear because I am breaking up. Can you hear me? I mean, I'm looking at the time and I'm looking at my avatar. I can see it moving, but I want to make sure that the internet is working correctly. Oh, okay, yes. Mama's hearing me too. Um, now I was asking if you believe that it is uneven. It's not equal. You know, they should work on it, and why. And matter of fact, 300. I mean, not to ask exactly where you are, but if I could ask the surrounding states, or at least the state where you are, what's the laws there? Because every state, they look at domestic violence differently. Even though we have a national, domestic type of, domestic abuse, um, that like the hotline and stuff like that, but each state have different laws, on domestic violence, or and sexual assault as well. You just found out California, they just signed a bill on breaking down the sex. What was that? The sex registry. Um, for all depends on your charge. Um, some can be have to go sign into the sheriff's office, move into certain areas, and it depends on how they put it, the charge. Some would not have to report it, so be careful. um, Again, what's that? That's Arizona's law, Marianne. Same thing if one person gets hit or if both hit, they both go to jail. Uh-oh. What does it say? Do you believe if a man becomes ar- aroused when a woman sexually violates him, that it's still assault or rape?
Yep. Men naturally become aroused. That's no.
Yeah, but you know what? She brought a good point up because I think it's a case in Virginia that, if I remember correctly, it's like back in the 80s, a law was passed that if a man becomes aroused during an assault from
They should
a
have fought that.
man or a woman, it's not considered rape. I remember that. If that's what
Hey,
mom
now
was
this
talking
is
about.
to my nurse.
Huh?
I was saying they should have fought that because medically, I'm tapping into my nursing degree. Medically, that's natural. A man comes aroused if the wind blow hard. That's natural.
Yeah, that's the same thing with and you're correct. I'm not a doctor, but I read a lot
Hmm.
and also seen a lot. But
Hmm.
they even say like in stuff in jail. In New York, it was the man who died that they found. I don't know if y'all heard about it, but in New York, it was a guy they took and beat him up real bad and stuck a broomstick up inside of him.
They're fighting
But
back. Dang.
huh?
I just said dang.
Yeah. But when they found him, he had a erection with the broomstick still stuck in him. So I take it as even with rape or it can be from a person or being abused with a some type of object. Like Coco said, you can still without having control, the body reacts more than the mind have the control when it comes to men.
Hmm. Real mamas, you crazy. Uh,
Oh yeah, it's definitely a double standard in Florida. I believe it's like that here too. Whomever the aggressor will go to jail. If both have bruises, they both go. Okay. Yeah. But some states they don't even look at it that way. Like what's that? Wyoming and where's Wichita? Kansas, right?
hmm.
Yeah, it was Sacramento, another place that um, they try to encourage if one person press charges, then the other one want to press charges, but neither one press charges, then they won't lock them up. But in Virginia, Maryland, D.C., and I guess Florida and Arizona, even if you don't press charges, the state can press charges and lock both of you up. Matter of fact, I think some states they would just lock you up. Period. If you assaulted them, they find out by talking to everybody involved and people around. If they find out who hit who first, somebody's going to jail that night, if not both. And that's if you pressing charges or not.
Mm.
But
Well, we
yes,
have Kentucky's a Commonwealth state, and a Commonwealth state is always ran like a prison.
yeah,
So,
Virginia is a Commonwealth state too.
sure.
Yes, it is. Trust and believe. So that's why I laugh at the guys here in DC, boy. They don't play with Virginia. Let me tell you this real quick. I know it's sidebar, but like if people get to fighting in Virginia for any reason and they in DC, They will fight real quick, but then they'll jump in their car. You see police, they jump in their cars and fly right about across that line. They don't play with Virginia people whatsoever. Even got family members that they got family down in Virginia Beach, and they will not drive when they come to Virginia. They will not drive. They will get their friend or they'll ride with somebody or get on the bus. They will not drive in Virginia. They don't play with no Virginia police. And most people in DC, especially black people, don't mess with no Virginia police. They don't play with them. Period.
And you know what? Can I address 300 real quick?
Go ahead.
Okay. And you know what? 300 since the quarantine, that's been on the rise.
Hmm.
That has been on the rise. What you just posted about spousal abuse, spousal rape is on
Yes.
the rise too.
Yes, yes, it has. Yes, it has. I'm glad you brought that up. Um, um, yeah, it's been very, very, and people have been. I mean, and this was making so bad. This is where we go back to the news again. Stuff that's not being reported. It's more important to see these two idiots, sitting there gawking and talking trash about each other instead of speaking on, the what this pandemic is doing by, for one, being quarantined, and for people who's in abusive relationships, they're being tortured right now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Them, their kids, their animals, they're being tortured right now, and they not putting out the hotline, and putting out anything that's going to help them. They think it's more important to see 45 sitting there talking about it's okay for you not to wear your mask, even though he caught it for 3 days and he's good to go. And he didn't even take his own vaccine. That's more news than, us getting hurt out here.
Mm-hmm. You're right. You got to remember though, this is the same man that said grab him in the coochie.
Right. And the thing, and his wife going to second that. Oh, it's just like a boy, the locker room talk.
Mm.
But
She
we know how you really feel because you ain't grabbing that hand and you smacking that hand and you
right.
definitely trying to get away from him. That's for sure.
I think it was a business arrangement. But anyway, moving forward.
Hey, but a lot of people don't even look at the situation. How can a man that be so much against immigration when his whole life and
Come
his
on.
his businesses is based off of immigration?
Thank you.
You got
Thank you very
illegals
much.
who built your empire. You have them working in your homes.
You are married to one. How
You
about
married to the first one, the second
that?
one. Come on now, let's be real.
Mm.
That don't tell you something's not going on. The elevator is not reaching the top. I mean, just facts, just facts.
I know.
But this is who we want to vote for. Okay,
Okay. I'm gonna let them have it too.
right. And with that being said, shoot, that let me know that Kanye probably can make it as president too.
Oh my goodness, he be done flipped out and pressed the button.
Yeah, but guess what? Let this be very known, and you can go and fact check this. Mr. 45 like to play with the football here and there. He keeps it with him at all times. I
What?
mean, it's supposed to be within 25 feet with him, but no, he likes to play with it.
Oh my gosh. We don't know how much trouble we in. Lord have mercy. Mm-mm.
Yes, it's called the football, and and
You
he
was a
think
mail
it's
order
really a
boy at Real
football.
Mamas. You right. Mm-hmm.
You
Wow.
right, real mama. You are definitely right. You are definitely right. But they supposed to be aggressive anyway. They have aggressive. Their people is very aggressive in everything. And I think that's what he likes. Um, the aggressiveness of a woman that be that way. I
Mm-hmm.
think he's trying to find somebody like his mom because he he idol his mom, which is not a bad thing. But
Mm-hmm.
his hairdo is from his mom. Go look, go look at
I
go
see
on
her.
the internet and look at the picture of his mom,
I
and
see.
he got this that $40,000 hairdo
Oh
that
my
he gets on
god.
his head is the same hairstyle that his mom wear.
Oh my goodness.
Go check. I'm
I
not.
already
I'm not
know.
playing.
I'm like, what in the freaking is that?
I'm sorry, I'm being a nerd right now, but yeah, I mean, if you look it up, you'll see it. He idols his mom, which is not a bad thing, but to the hairdo, no, that's no. He think that looks fly. $40,000 for that every 3 months.
Mm,
$40,000 being spent to get that due.
right. Did you read 300's comment?
Wait, which one? We said
Uh,
what?
up under exactly. I think it's two things.
I'm looking. Okay, gotcha. Two things have grown since. Okay, spousal abuse and pregnancy. So either you're fucking or fighting. Well, they doing both. They fighting, then they fucking, then they fighting again. I mean, not on. I mean, I don't want to make it sound like on the spousal abuse. I'm way
No.
against that. But for the ones, I mean, you're gonna get crazy in the house anyway, especially when you're
Hey,
stuck in the house for a long
Fantastic
time,
Life YouTube channel.
huh?
He spoke. I don't know who it is. Fantastic Life YouTube channel.
Hey, fantastic! What's going on, man? Thank you. How you been doing? I ain't seen in a while. Oh yeah, fantastic. I know him from Pink Dot.
Oh, okay.
Miss Pink Dot.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
Well, hi. Nice to meet you.
What's been going on? I'm glad you came by. Hey, well, sidebar real quick. I ain't talked to you since your vacation. How was your vacation? Okay. Okay. I got you. I got you. I got you. Fantastic. I catch you. I catch you later, and I appreciate it. But yeah, I'm not for the spousal abuse, but you know, some people can get along without having big disputes and stuff like that. But then you have a lot that do can they have to go to work and have that 8 hours or more away from home because
Mm-hmm.
you know they in some type of routine. Because they do have those spats and opinions and differences. Different opinions, and some are voiced louder than others, and it can come to a conflict. And yeah, um, but then after they work everything out, then like 300 said, back to the fun stuff. So it's like a war. you know, um, you have your battles, and then you have the peace treaty, and then next thing you know, something is said.
You
Then
said the picture.
the peace treaty is when the love making comes, but
Right.
once something somebody else said or somebody did something somebody didn't like, and there you go, rockets and grenades and bombs and shots fired again. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they say, yeah, I'm not making light of spouses abuse
You
by
know
no means.
that.
No, come on, 300. I know that. I know that. But you're making a point though. It had to be highlighted, but it's not the joke of it. We understand. We definitely
All
understand.
right, babes. Thank you for your support.
Thank you.
I'll check you out too tomorrow, Real Mamas.
Right, right. Everybody go and check out Real Mamas, Real Problems. I mean, she got a very, very, very hot channel, especially with her point rating, and also she has some good conversations in the morning when she getting off of work, and she bring up some good titles. You need to go check her out. Nice ride home when when other people is going to work. You can definitely get some good insight information and good. She's a good storyteller too as well, and she's a very erotic poem reader and
Oh,
and
real
writer.
mama, you still here? I'm sorry, Anthony. You still here? I'm waiting to see what she say. Probably not. I waited too late. Dang, damn it. Okay, keep going. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you probably gonna have to hit her on her community on her page. You
Yeah,
want to leave a
because
message.
um I want her because I write poetry too. I want her to come on my channel and read some of her stuff and explain it. I'll talk to her about it. But yeah, I was trying to get her while she was in here and I forgot.
Right. Gotcha. Oh, she here. She just said I have a live to do in a few. Okay. Oh yeah, we're gonna go over there and check that out then. Then we go over there and check that out.
Are you a
Um,
subscriber to me? Fantastic. Thank you, love. Oh,
no. See, I'm glad. Fantastic. Are you able to come up for a second? Now, 'cause I want to from our conversation. I want to make something clear. Oh, she said, "Real Mama said she heard you."
okay, love. All right. Email me.
Man, Real Mama's been busy, very busy too. So you might want to also try to reach out to her, email her, Coco.
Mm-hmm.
No. I'm glad he here, and I didn't even think about the last time we was here, but we had a packed floor at the time. But
Oh, okay.
um, it was something that I want to bring up at 300. I do appreciate you all.
Okay, baby.
Oh yeah, she said she's gonna email you. That's fantastic. Hey, fantastic.
What's going on? I don't really like
Oh,
coming up here because it be choppy. I don't know what be going on. Like it be choppy every
okay.
time I get on StreamYard, and I pay too much money for this to be choppy like that. So I hate when I listen to the replay. I don't know what it be. I guess because they'll be at work and they be trying to put blockage because they don't want us on our phone. So it
Yeah,
might
right.
have something to do with that.
Yeah, sometimes they have blockers that be right there by the switch, uh, inside whatever they have they data, um, their switch inside the office. They can take in and put the Wi-Fi blockers up right beside the Wi-Fi, or some of the Wi-Fi's have blockers on it to block signals. So yeah, you gotta be careful of those. Have a lot of them at my job as well. But no, you sound fine. You sound very clear, and there's no chop.
I don't know
Um,
what because like sometimes I be sounding like a damn robot when I listen to the replay. I'm like, what the hell?
uh-oh, it just started happening just a little bit just a second ago.
See, I say I hate
But
that. That's why I
but
don't really
but
try to get on StreamYard like that
I
while I'm
got
at work.
got you. But that was the same thing that been happening with Coco, and I think it's me as well because other people was hearing me and some people didn't. But no, Coco, um, this is fantastic. Now it was a
Hello.
situation that happened. It
Hi,
was a
love.
it was a situation that was that happened that got misconstrued by another YouTuber who was trying to start a mess.
Oh, Lord.
But it was a time that I came to you and I said fantastic, gave you a shout out because him and a good good friend of his, they was listening to your story and they was giving you a shout out. And when I wrote and Bama Girl to you, I said, hey, you got a couple people who give you a shout out that enjoyed your story, that listened to your story, and they were just giving you a shout out. They only copied a certain thing and made it almost seem like I was saying something bad to Fantastic when I was talking to you on Bama Girls Live on in the chat. And only thing I was trying to say was that when I saw what he emailed me what was said, I just wanted to make it clear that when him and the lady that was on his live was, saying what they were saying, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool because you have people who, don't really know you still listen to you. And
Mhm.
I was letting you know, you told me in the chat to let me know who they were. And I
Yeah.
put Fantastic's name and I said, this is the person who was giving you the shout out.
Yeah, and I couldn't find him at the time. I told you, I said, I can't find him. I said, but whoever it is, tell him I said, thank you so much.
Right. And there you go. There you go, fantastic. Did you hear it?
Yeah, I believe that's why I didn't go off of, I just, because when I looked at the screenshots for one, it didn't make sense. You know what I mean? It was like
Right.
something else was said because it's missing. Because it
Hmm.
went from, you can tell that something wasn't right. So that's why I didn't go, I didn't like say anything rude to you because I knew I've been on these YouTube streets for a while, well, just in the background listening, so I know how it goes. Like,
Yeah, no, but I wasn't saying only just for that point. I just wanted you
yeah,
to, I wanted
yeah,
her to meet you because of what you were saying about her story, and you was talking about it on your platform, and you was giving her a big up. So I want her
yeah,
because she didn't know who you were, so
yeah.
that's
Like
why.
I told you. Like I told
Go
you, I
ahead.
think people when get cool with certain people, they don't want you cool. They feel like other people come in that they're a threat, so they'll try to eliminate the threat. I would guess you would
Yep,
say. So
Right,
yep,
I guess that was the one of the process because I guess they seen that we was conversing and conversating or whatever, and some people don't
right,
like that, so they're gonna do whatever they got to do to try to eliminate the threat. So I think that was an attack process,
right.
and it didn't work. And it was another situation that tried to throw out there, and that still didn't work either. So,
Oh Lord.
so I just
Yeah,
well,
and also
me,
I heard, and a couple of times I heard even to myself from other people that I'm very close on here, and some subbies be saying I'm moving funny, but
oh,
yeah,
I never seen it. Mm-mm.
yeah, but I mean, I seen it, but it don't matter to me. I mean, again, I make it very clear. I go where I want to go,
Yeah, that's what I'm
you
saying. You're
know.
grown. You can go wherever. This is YouTube. We don't know each other. We're not married. We're not family. We move. We can go where we want to go. Like,
Right,
what are y'all talking about? Y'all, we don't know each other personally. So what's the problem?
right.
I
But
mean,
you
we
got some
cordial.
people,
Hi, bye. Keep it moving.
right, and this is the
welcome
thing.
back,
But you,
captivating.
hey, Cap. Yeah, but you got some people that they get. Some people get almost like I don't like to bring her name up, but the knot over there. People who think that they give you money. That's why I don't really
Right.
promote super chats and I don't get
Me
those
either.
yet.
I
And
don't.
I don't promote. If somebody give me money, most time I donate it to somebody else or to somebody else's channel. So um, they own you. You know what I mean? And
Mm,
that's why a lot of people get it mixed up for the people that she gets into it with her big people that be contributing to her page. They think that because they give you money that you supposed to go a certain way they want you to go. And I don't want to get that mixed up at all. If you donate to my channel, a lot if I don't put it back into the channel, much I mostly put in my own channel, I donate it. You know what I mean? Period.
right.
That's just who I am. Because
I
I
just
don't want to
seen.
get it misconstrued or
Yeah.
anything that my mom passed 3 years ago. And so you don't fit that area, period. You don't have no control of what I do. Period.
And it's like I seen these content creators. I mean these subbies send, all hundreds and hundreds of dollars for at the end of the day get treated like trash and throughout. So after they didn't spend their hard on, and most of these people don't got it like that. Everybody on here don't have it, the subbies, but they'll get a last to their face, and then for end up for them to be treated like trash. And see, I don't
Mhm.
like that. It's sad.
Right. Right.
They throw them out and block them like they just ain't nobody, and that's crazy. And then they be feeling some type of way because they done sent all this money to they sending hundreds
Yeah.
a day. It's
Yeah.
crazy, and I
Yeah. That's true
refuse.
too.
I mean, I have gave money to one person on here, but if for me to give you something, I had to really fuck with you. So for me to
Right.
give you some type of money, I had to really fuck with you. I'm not gonna be giving money to every country creator. I'm sorry, because these motherfuckers are trash. If you ask me,
Right. Right.
because
I
like
mean, but
if
it's
somebody,
some people I
yeah.
support too. It's some people I support as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
Not all
and,
of them, but it's just like take care of your subbies. If they supporting you, support them.
hmm
But see,
right,
and this is what I'm about to do. I'm not mad at any content creators that I'm a membership with, but I'm about to undo my membership because I'm about debt cancellation,
And
Right.
until I get to a certain level of my debt being canceled, I don't want any extra funds going out. So I hope they don't make me an enemy of people. But if it do, oh well, because I have to take care of me. You know.
Right. That's
Question.
right. I mean, you do what you have to do. Go ahead.
Quick. You a member? Some of these actually doing something with their membership? Because I see a lot of these people in here that a lot of people got these membership, but they're actually not even doing like things for their members. Like member only.
That's facts. That is facts.
So I'm just like, what's the
And
purpose of
that's not.
membership? You're not. What's the
Now
purpose
you
if you're
have
not doing
some
nothing?
that you have some that do. I mean, I'm in a couple of them
Not
that
everybody. I'm
do.
just saying, just like Teresa, do you actually really be doing these
No,
special lives and stuff?
no. There's special seeing a delivery come to her door. That's about it. That's all you see with
I'm just
special
if you got
anything.
members, take care of your members. That's all. I mean, you got your people. Take care of. They ain't subscribed just to be subscribed and paying extra money. Yeah, they are probably paying. Take care of
Right.
your people. That's all I ask. Just don't be taking their money and not doing nothing for them.
But then they talk about other people. You know what I mean? I mean, I just got on Tim Blaine. I'm like, come on, dude. You get up so upset, but you get super chats and you get uh super chats and you get cash apps, but you're not scamming your people. So stop calling people scammers who give them money to their to the people they subscribe to. I mean, if that's who they like and they want to get a money to them, so be it. What that got to do with you? I mean, he even admitted it bothers him. Why is it bothering you? You know what I mean? It shouldn't drive you up the wall that your teeth about to fall out your mouth and your eyes about to roll about your head like the exorcist. Next thing you know, I want to see your head spin around. I put $5 to see that. Trust and believe.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
But
I
it's
mean,
a lot of people on here. They be watching them super chats and all of that. They watch. They say they don't, but they be watching and
yeah,
counting.
I can care less. I can care less. I don't count nobody's pocket. Please don't count mine.
Facts.
Like Tracy, she be watching and like the people who send money, she be super nice. Or they pop down on her chat, she be extra
Hmm.
nice to that person. She make sure that she call that person name.
Thank you, 300. I think so too.
Right, right. You can't get mad. I mean, again, don't hate the player, hate the game. If that person got game, if they doing something wrong, let me tell you, there's two bad women in this world. First person is Mother Nature. The second baddest bee is karma. And they are two bad women that will come and F you up if you on some F shit.
I
Trust and
like that.
believe. Trust and believe. When they get in your face, there's nothing you can do but take the hit and ride the wave. Because it's gonna come back. Believe me. So I mean, it's just crazy, man. People just I made two videos. Too invested and being knowing redemption. You know what I mean? Being given a second chance in anything that you're doing, in life, period. Be very thankful. Be thankful that you woke up this morning. Look what we're living in right now. You know what I mean?
Hey
It's
man,
really not that serious. If nobody's who's talking online, that you not, again, unless you are affiliated with them in real life, nobody is online that is touching you or saying anything that is bad enough that they had to go pull up your information to try to use it against you. It's really not that serious. You make it that serious. That's the only way it happens when you make it that serious. If you're not here, if you can't take the fuck shit, keep your ass off the fuck shit. Okay, everybody like to see some shits and giggles, but be on the side. Like everybody can't drive a race car. That's why you got bleachers for people who spectate. They sit their ass on the bleachers and watch. Everybody can't participate. If
Mm,
that was the case, then there won't be nobody who buy tickets because everybody would be in the field racing against each other. You can't sell tickets that way.
right.
Let's keep it real. Come on now. It's just crazy how people, everybody want to be a superhero, because they wasn't a lot in their own life, but when they get on here, it's like they the baddest people in the world. You know what I mean?
Every-
They
Everybody got money, cars, clothes. You name it.
right. They
Everybody rich
got
on this
their
motherfucker.
super rapper of the year.
We
Right.
don't need these YouTube checks. We don't need nothing. I done
Right.
had 2 houses and cars. I done had
Come
all
on
that.
now.
And they the main ones that's sitting out there. Oh, just donate $1.
I done had cars. I done had that. And it's a
Right.
bad, he got a house. Why he got a house for? That's bad. Why would you have a house?
They
Yeah,
said
That's
it-
bad.
yeah.
Are you
It's
serious?
dumb to own a piece of property.
Yeah.
Oh,
Are you crazy?
yeah.
You
Come on now. I live in San Francisco. I'm paying $8,000 a month for a little shack room. I'm very proud of that.
Mm-mm.
yeah.
Really, you in one little shack room that you can come outside, you'll hit a little piece of grass, and the rest of it's concrete. And somebody's a $300,000 house that is theirs. They can write off anything they want. They can go in their backyard and barbecue, swim. They can fuck in the backyard if they want to. You
You
can't
can't
do
do too
that.
much. You gonna be called. They're gonna call the police on your ass. You get started if you want to.
Right. Sure, you come outside and if you'll fly down in
Right.
San Francisco, your ass might get locked up.
Yeah. You
Come
can
on
go out
now,
to your
let's keep it
backyard
real.
naked. Meanwhile, while you in your room naked, looking crazy.
Right.
Right. Right. You got your window wide open, and next thing you know, you got police rushing the house like you selling drugs.
Right. You
Because you
online
can't walk.
slurring and stuff, and your camera asking to come on. Your hair standing up. You ain't got no clothes on, bitch. Oh Lord, have mercy. Let me hush. 'Cause that was a hot mess.
Right, right. Hey, I don't know if you saw the topic. I was gonna say get your insight real quick on what we talking
Okay.
about. Forbidden sex. It's it's got everything in it. From molestation to
Ooh.
sexual abuse.
Oh.
Um, the difference between men and women when it comes to being assaulted. There was a case, I don't know if you heard about it, fantastic. This gay Latino man got 25 years just for touching a woman's hand in a bar. Not in a sexual way,
What?
but she felt threatened that she was going to be raped the next day
This
and called the
country.
police and got him locked up. And he got convicted 25 years just for talking to a woman at the bar and touching her hand. He got 25 years.
What race was she?
That's the same day 300 said. She was
I'm just
white.
curious. Karen strikes again.
I know that was coming.
That's
But
all I
you
what's
see
color.
it,
What race
you
it
see
is?
it every day. That is true. I mean, I'm not trying to be racist. I'm not
I
trying
ain't
to
either,
be
but
biased, but you do see this every day. You got people who get in people's way and they in their cars at the Walmart. You got people who go hooping and hollering because some people is buying some type of bleach that they think a person shouldn't buy because you're black or you're this. I mean, crazy stuff. They want to hold up a parking space for somebody, and it's a public parking lot, and somebody else pulling the space, especially a different race. Oh, it's a hoop and a holler hell going on because I'm calling the police because you took my friend's space. You standing right in front of it. Last I checked, I don't see no name. I don't see no sign that say this spot is permitted for your friend. Toodaloo, you have a good day. But you're gonna stand in my way when I'm ready to leave because you feel you got to make a point that I took your friend's space. Okay,
they do a
okay.
lot. They do the fucking most.
But they say that they don't be privileged, but that sounds like somebody think they're privileged for everything, and it's a lot of them
You
that do
right.
it all the time.
And that's
If
why
you
they get
don't
their
think
way.
right, right. But what's your take on with the with sex, forbidden sex period.
Like what you just said about the woman or
Overall. I mean, like, what have you seen, dealt with, or anything that was forbidden that affected you in your life?
Mm, I've never been molested or sexually abused.
Thank God.
Probably well, it's not sexual, but like maybe when I was younger, dating wise,
Mhm.
I guess mental abuse because it wasn't
Okay.
physical. I had never been in a physical, but mental, like because I was bigger when I was younger, so the
Okay.
fat shame and all of that. That's the only abuse I've taken in. But
Okay.
other than
I
that,
got
I
you.
ain't never been. Thank God, I ain't never been in no physical abuse, sexual abuse, molestation. I haven't. Thank God, I ain't never had to deal with none of that.
Okay.
Um,
What about like
uh,
friends and family? Do you know of people who's been that affected you? That's been in situations that, like, a lot of things, especially with black people, is one thing of being gay, because I know that can be something that's bad from listening to stories and stuff like that. But being black, and you have a lot of family who's touching and trying to do things
oh
to
yeah.
other family members, younger family members, and also if you're being gay, which I'm not, but I've just heard stories, of the things they went through as well. Have you had any things like that, affect you in your life?
Well, I'm kind of I'm not, of course, I'm not DL, but I guess this is no ask, no don't ask, don't tell because we don't ever talk about it basically. Because
Gotcha.
we grew up in it. I grew up heavy in the church, and
Oh,
yeah.
gotcha.
So it's like a
Got,
don't ask, don't tell. I'm very low key with mine. Business is
gotcha.
not everywhere. If I'm talking to somebody, not just because it's just like when your relationship out in the open, that causes more problems in the community. Because
Right.
when people see you with somebody, okay, I can be single and nobody don't want to talk to me, but when I'm in a relationship, I'm talking to somebody, my inbox be full. Like it's crazy.
See
It's
that.
weird. It's like that
But I think
challenge.
heterosexual life, that's the same as heterosexual life. That's the
It's
same
like a
thing.
challenge. Like they're in a relationship.
Right.
And yeah, it's like it's I don't know. It's weird. It's crazy how folks think. Like when I'm
But,
single
it,
about a
but
woman.
I'm glad you said something about that. This was crazy today in this society today. They think it's more challenging to go out and try to have sex with somebody else's partner, spouse, mate. It's more of a challenge to them, and it's it's like it's a good thing to do. They even promote it. They feel bigger, or they feel as more important to do something with somebody else's partner than getting their own. I mean, I don't get that. I don't understand that,
It's a
and it's
challenge.
crazy.
They get a kick. It's a thrive for them. I don't know what it is, but and then they just like then they want to get on social media, probably try to add the person, and
Yeah,
then they try to throw little slick shots to them. Like it's crazy how these folks think and react, but they'll
it's,
do it.
yeah, and I don't understand that. I guess is because we all around my same age, so it's just the way we came up. We don't see it that way, but I'm just trying to understand this generation now, that you think it's okay for my girlfriend to have a girlfriend, or my boy's girl, while he gone, I'm knocking her down, you know, and it's all cool. And I'm coming on social media and like, oh, he dumb and he this and that because he think that this is that, and I don't need a girlfriend because I'm too busy in your girl, and that's cool. I don't know. It's just everything around sex these days. It's a lot of negative that is looked upon in a positive light, and it's crazy. It's really crazy. It almost makes, like you said, this. We in the last of days, because everything is definitely going in a different direction. Um, you know, you got hate. It seems like hating is winning right now. Um, and I mean
True.
that in a sense of a lot of the bad shit is being glorified, but everything of this good, you know, love, natural, wholesome love is forbidding or it's a curse or something like that. If you have a fruitful, nice relationship, then somebody, like you said, when you by yourself, I'm not saying it's necessarily hard for you to get somebody, but you do have to be selective to get somebody who's going to fit your lifestyle and the way you are, as a person. Y'all fit each other, complement each other. But once you in one, you got so many people who's trying to get with you or trying to get with your partner or your spouse. Because soon as like you feel like you're is quote unquote tied down, then is like, yeah, I gotta have that person, or I want this person, or I had a person that came at me at some points, like or I want to be your friend, blah blah blah, this and this and that. And I tell them, okay, well, you want to be my friend, then you gotta be cool with my partner as well. You got my spouse, you gotta be cool with them. And they're like, oh no, no, or you can't have friends. That's crazy. Your person got you locked down like that. Blah 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 blah. I'm like, why you want to be with me if I'm already with somebody? What's the threat out of that? I'm not unless you want to be, friends with me, and you can't be friends with my spouse. Then that's me being against my spouse. If I do that with you, what makes you think I'm not going to do the same thing to you? That's what you want. That's what you like. I don't get it. It's crazy. It's crazy to me. Okay, I got you. I got you. Well, I'm not going to stay up long anyway. Um, um, Coco. I'm sorry. What'd you say? Fantastic.
No, it's crazy because the bad boys. If you're a bad boy, you're winning. If you're a good boy, good hustling boy, you're lame, you whack. Don't nobody want to be bothered with you. But not everybody, but probably 90% of the females don't want to be bothered with you. You'll have probably a
But
good
see
ten
that, but
percent.
that's the crazy thing because I have a couple of families and friends who live that type of life, but they're very unhappy. And you talk to them, and me, I'm a straight up person. I tell them, I mean, look, that person. I mean, it's your choice what you want to do, but when you're telling me X, Y, and Z, then I'm gonna give my opinion. I don't want you to take it that when my opinion is wholesome and that's the full truth because I'm not in it. I'm on the outside looking in. But if I know that this person is not meaning you well, I'm going to let it be known. But it's up to you to make that decision, especially if you come to me and talk to me about it. I'm going, most times I try not to say anything, but being a real friend, I have to say something. And sometimes we'll have our differences point. But overall, if I've been your friend for a very long time, you should know already I'm not out to hurt you. I'm just telling you the truth. You're attracted to a idea, you're not attracted to the actual real thing. And you have a lot of women out here, not all, but you have a lot, like you said, that wants the bad boy mentality. They want the nerd dude to make the money and take care of the bills and this and that. But then they want the bad boy, who to be grumpy or talk mess and trash and this and that. Which the nerd dude can do the same thing, or he might be more conservative, but you're not gonna find a lot of bad boy nerds. Period. It's just one or the other. You
And
know.
see, and see, a lot of these women like to get, and being physical because they think in their head, oh, they love me. If they slap me, that they love me. And it's sad, but it's a lot of people go through that. And then they finally, some of them will get out of it, and some of them just won't get out of it. Something drastic will happen.
Right. 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 Um. So I wish Coco was back up here because she can definitely give a better insight on it as being a female. Also, as a
And
counselor, she knows a lot. Um,
Yeah,
when it
some
comes to
women.
those kind of
Yeah,
situations. I mean, even I had one that was when I was a lot younger that I never slept with or nothing, and basically was trying to get to know her, and she was like just loony. Just she thought that if you hit her, she even said it. Why don't she punch me in my jewels? For no reason.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. They
and
start
like
to fight until you lose it.
yeah, and then when I act like I was going to hit her, and I had to catch myself, I'm like, "Well, what are you doing?" And then she's like, "Why you didn't hit me? You don't like me. You don't care this and that." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" It's like because if you don't hit me, then that don't mean you don't care about me. I'm like, you think we in kindergarten or something? What? What you lost your mind? Come on now, no.
Yes, there's a
If I
lot of these
gotta hit
women.
you, I don't need to be with you.
There's a lot of these women. They will, fight and do something until the guy lose it. Then they get popped. Then they somewhere crying and looking like, okay, now yeah, they relationship. They need to get out of there. But yeah, if people, all the men ain't, you know, all the females are not innocent because they be out here doing all type of reckless stuff all
Well,
day,
that's
every
true.
day. So
That's true.
they like you
That's
said,
true.
she hitting you in your private area. So I mean, that'll make anybody lose it and get popped. You can't.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And
So
I'm
yeah,
pretty sure the same thing too. You have some of the women that's not going to take that either. That if you come from a relationship that you've been with a girl who like to be popping, then you meet another one that, hey, remember Marina Bobbitt? She
hmm
can get into it. She cut that joint off and threw it right out the window.
oh my
Call it
god,
a
my
day.
god,
Quick, fast.
today. Woo.
Yes, yes, and I mean, they was able to save it, and put it back on. What was his name? John Bobbitt. He he was a superstar for a minute, but now uh he's done.
I bet.
um,
My
yeah,
god, today.
but it's just not everybody is not going to be for that, and for the ones who are going through it, some things that you do in the bedroom should stay in the bedroom. It don't need to be out. Okay. If you
Yeah,
like getting your ass spanked or you want to be choked or smacked a little bit or whatever the hell you like, keep it there. It don't need to
yeah.
be out in the front that everybody need to see or for you need to feel like you need to be affectionate that way. Uh
Since we on the subject, I just wanted to say something real quick.
what?
If since we on that, just quick. If whatever you do in the bedroom is private, but if you're a straight man and you got a wife or whatever, if she eats your butt, that doesn't mean that you're gay.
Yeah.
I hear
Well,
that
we
a
spoke.
lot, and that's like, no, they pleasuring each other. That doesn't mean you're gay. I mean, that's
Oh
what
yeah, you haven't been around. I think that was my last episode.
Well, I be
Yeah,
in and out. Like sometimes when I catch you, like last time I think I caught you, you were just getting off. I'm like, dang it. Sometimes
yeah,
I have a new person that works, so I'm doing a lot of training. So I don't
gotcha.
really be on YouTube a lot. I probably pop in and pop out, but I
Yeah.
can't be on here as heavy because my other friend he knew how to do everything. So as long as I did my
Right.
work, he did how we was good. So I had to do a lot of
Hey,
training now.
but I am going to have a another sex talk, and like you said, my panel. I'm open with everybody. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah,
not biased to anything. So um I got a couple of people. They gay men. One bisexual, and I've been
oh
talking to
my.
them, and I'm talking to you. I know you work, so but if you're available, I'm going to
Yeah, just
have
let me
a
know. Yeah, I'm
panel.
down. I'll
Okay,
stop
cool.
through.
All right. I email you, ahead of time to let you know when I'm doing it, so then you'll know what's going on. I keep you updated, and then we can go from there.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm down. I'll stop through.
Like with Jamila, hey, how you doing? Thank you for coming by. Um, we're talking about forbidden sex. Basically, I'm almost at the end of it. Uh, we got at the. I mean, we went everywhere on this, but um, basically, just about molestations and forbidden touches and sexual abuse. Um, just touching on a lot of stuff that need to be spoke on. Uh, oh, it's no problem. It's no problem at all. Uh, let's see here. Um, hold up. I can leave this right here. I'm about to type in the chat some hotlines for anybody out there who's going through. Because right now, you have a lot of people who's going through the ringer. Who's in living in unhealthy and very violent situations right now. You know what I mean? For the ones who live with an abusive sexual abusive person or a physical abusive person, they're going through the ringer right now with this pandemic, but it's still help out here. I know it's crazy how everything is, and it's a little slow, but you don't have to tolerate it. And especially if you got kids and stuff, they definitely don't need to be in it, because we will continue to repeat this cycle over and over and over again unless we try to stop it. Can't stop everything, but at least if more people become aware, the more that we can be involved, the more that we can help try to end it. Um, and one other thing too, if you're going through any type of situation, please find someone that you trust, that you can talk to. Um, and if you can't find anybody, there are other outside help, resources that you can go to. Now, all of them is not all that great, but there's a stepping stone to everything. You got to sometimes crawl before you walk. You know what I mean? So, in some situations, might not look all that great for you to get out of an abusive relationship, or marriage or whatever type of thing that you're in. But just remember, at the end of the tunnel, there's always going to be light. Always going to be light. And that's just facts. Um, let's see. Want to thank everybody for coming by today. Um, the channels are Real Mamas, Real Problems. Um, who else? It's all hot air. Please go and check them out. Matter of fact, Real Mama should be coming on if she's not already on right now. Life with Jamila. Um, Also, I want to thank Mary Ann, Diva D, Auntie Donna. Love Auntie Donna. She's my diamond rock. Also, my partner in crime, my co-host, um, Libra Butterfly, aka Coco929. Um, I have a few other people. I've seen a couple of trolls. Oh, captivating! Can't forget about my man Cap. Cap. Uh, Check out CCNTV. That's Captivating Christians News Television Network. He comes on at noon. That gives politics and insight on everyday world and national news. Um, and who else? Oh Lord, where the troll? Hello, people of sex. What's that? Emily Buhai. Probably one who came by last time. Anyway, you always gotta have the trolls. You can't have, you know, you're doing a little something when you got trolls coming in your chat. If they're not coming, you're not doing it right. Oh, I want to thank Bama Girl. Check out Bama Girl Vlogs. Mr. Debonair. Um, who else? Nikki Baby, aka Love Feet. Who else came by today? Um, I love all y'all. Even the trolls. Um, I appreciate y'all coming to, even when I'm half tired, y'all hear me rip and rave and sometimes be get a little lost, especially when I'm still trying to wake up because I'm a night person. If you don't know already, I be up at night all night, and when I get up during the day, I'm still trying to get you know my mind going right, get on the right track. Uh, but eventually I get there. Oh, there's no problem. No problem, Cat. Hey man, I thank you. So you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of stuff I learned from you guys that got me up here. You know what I mean? So, but I appreciate you guys supporting me at the same time. I'm always gonna support y'all regardless. But I definitely appreciate it. And I'm definitely gonna get back at all times. Uh, but let me get these hotlines. Um, Again, go out and check out, especially with Cat. When it comes to the politics, I give out information, and Cap he got a lot of his resources, and he been in it a long time, so he knows a lot what's going on, and he have accurate information. And I like how his platform set up. I always catch the replay if I can't catch the live, and that's to be half sleep as well. I stayed up most of that morning to catch him if before I go to sleep. um, and also when he's out there, he's not a content. Well, I think he is a content creator. He be having some stuff when he feel like doing it, and but he's real funny, he's real cool, and he's real down to earth, and that's fantastic. Life, fantastic, is really awesome person as well, man. He's real cool dude. He remind me between Cap and Rebel. You know, he got that real chill with him, but then when shit get crazy, he can let it rip just like anybody else. That's fantastic. All right. Check him out. He's real awesome. Also, uh, Libra Butterfly, she always has some insightful information as well. If you have any problems and you need some help, um, especially when it comes to any type of abuse, or you have any like some situations that you don't have nobody that you can talk to. She's definitely a person that gives a good objective opinion on certain situations. So I'll reach out to her, a Libra butterfly. She's real awesome. But let me see what I can get these for you. Hold on one second. Hotlines for people who need it. All right, the first one is domestic violence hotline. Hold on, I'm gonna type it in the chat. Then I will come back and give the number. Hold on. Okay, we have here for the domestic violence hotline, which is 1-800-799-SAFE, 1-800-799-SAFE, and SAFE is 7233. Also, you can download the app at hotline.org, that again for domestic violence hotline for people who need help in, that's domestic abuse and assaults. Okay. Hold on, I'm gonna get for the sexual abuse. Stand by. And for sexual abuse and assault hotline, which is RAIN, you can also look it up and online. And also they have an app. It's RAINN. It's a National Sexual Abuse and Assault Hotline at 1-800-656-HOPE. 1-800-656-HOPE. Phone number for Hope. The number for Hope is 4673. 4673. All right, got both the domestic abuse hotline and the national sexual abuse and assault hotline for you. All right. If you have any questions or you need somebody to talk to, you can drop an email to me or Libra Butterflies. It's hot air or real mamas real problems, and we definitely will try to get you to the right help that you need. Um, that concludes my time for Let's Chop It Up. It's Sex Talk, Ep.4, special edition on forbidden sex. And I appreciate you guys. Please come again on my next episode as I'm trying to keep it going as long as I can about sex. It's natural as long as we're doing it right. I love all you guys and I appreciate y'all. And I will see y'all in the streets. Okay.
Never let them catch you smile fading. We gon' make it, keep it playing. This ain't nothing more than tables changing. Fuck the nation, find your spaceship, boy.
Every damn day, I hope your hands press and play. Feel that bounce, 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 bounce. What more can I say? Me and my coin come to play. We came to bounce, 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 bounce. Born in Philly and raised in the D. See me with a handful of rings at 3. I knew this cloud would amount to the beat. Got so much bounce, better mount your feet like crazy. Baby was born to a lady, rolling around in a Porsche Mercedes. Thinking God he woke her up on the daily. Homies now we're holy, holding me God. Police round, we bound to go at them hard. Niggas now we round up all of the boys. I look around, I know we down to get us. Down to get yards, around like 200,000. Throwing a mule, matter of fact, in the counting. Can I get 2? Can I get you? Maybe like you, the count of the bouncing. Homies like hoes now, pick up the program. I like a 4. How did we get to a place where all we boast about is the ignorance turned into a poster child? Down on this and if now they just follow to get it. The part that I'm always prevented, but after malignant, I promise a nigga is about it and bound to make all of them listen. Niggas gon' be niggas and bitches gon' be bitches, but the niggas make them bitches. Boy, you best not be forgetting all the way from Trinidad after fucking Jefferson. Nigga driving hip hop crazy, pumping straight through melanin. It be that bounce. Every damn day, I hope your hands press and play. Feel that bounce, 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 bounce. What more can I say? Me and my coin come to play. We came to bounce, 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 bounce. Every damn day, I hope your hands press and play. Feel that bounce, 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 bounce. What more can I say? Me and my coin come to play. We came to bounce, 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 bounce. Real deal shit like this ain't never gonna come and go quick. I listen back to a little rap jack, then a little blackjack with a knack for cadence. I'm black, but I'm like a quarterback, facilitating the crack, put a cast on payment. Cause mom had a little bit of hash in the bag from stash for the day she came in. Cause it was hard as fuck to conjure up enough to eat, but we bank Antarctica. Now all we trust is party people, peace the evil. CD got all of us. Part of us is that power. All the street to bust out of, all of the prisons they put my people in. Nevertheless, we bounce out prouder like niggas gon' be niggas and bitches gon' be bitches, but niggas make them bitches. Boy, you best not be forgetting all the way from Trinidad after fucking Jefferson. Nigga dropping hip hop crazy, pumping straight through melanin. Let it be that bounce.